Yeah, it's been.
Hello and welcome to Snowskate Overlords, the most authoritative podcast in snowskating. I'm Eric Frick here with Andrew Nelson and Zach Alwarden. And today we have Phil Moreau, another Wet Sox alumni. How's it going this winter, Phil? How you been, bud?
What's up? Going super good. We've had actually a really good winter so far. Lots of snow, good temperatures, and this cat just is biting my hand right now. I was trying to talk and I could feel his teeth like getting in my hand. Sorry, I'll just put that cat away and be back. Yeah, it's been a good winter so far. Sorry about that.
That sounds like a delightful winter,
doing?
especially with the cat.
Yeah. You guys are doing good?
For sure. I wish we were able to snow skate more. It sounds like your weather has been a lot better than it has been in the Midwest, so definitely jealous there. But, what can you do? Zach's shaking his head no. Zach sounds like he's struggling.
I'm all right.
So you've been filming a lot this winter, Phil?
I'm trying. It's a little harder to find some time to go film these days, but at least once a week. That's my my technique this year, or what I'm trying to do. Just try to find some times to go at least once a week.
Sure.
Sometimes more, sometimes less, but it's been good. I've got some clips that I'm happy with, and having some fun.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, stoked you're still able to get out because, it sounds like you've had a really busy winter. You have a baby Moreau to take care of. You have what is it, 4 maple syrup farms or something at this point, sugar shacks? So
yeah, I mean, it's one big production, but it's on 4 different sites.
Okay. Yeah, that recently expanded. How did that come about? Because you used to just have the one, right?
Yeah, we had the one that was the family land that my parents always had growing up, and so we bought this 5 years ago, and that was 15,000 taps. So I don't know if you guys can relate or compare, but it's a fairly big sugar shack for the area. And we saw another one for sale last year that was in the area, and these maple farms sells super fast. It's crazy these days how expensive they are and how everyone wants them. And we had we already had the production equipment and everything, and we happened to be the first one to call them when it was for sale. So we got this, and that was last year. A year ago we got to 21,000 taps. So it's a pretty big do you say rise, growth in 1 year.
Yeah.
And then we bought our neighbors 6 months later. That was for sale. It was a land that we always wanted because we grew up right next to it, and we always looked at it driving by. It's right next to our old sugar shack. So that one came for sale, and we just bought it. So we have maybe 3 or 4 times more lands than before. It's just been a lot of stuff to deal with, but it's awesome.
For sure. Yeah, sounds like you're staying busy, and it's sick that you got a sugar shack just to film a snow skate part at. I don't think anybody else has ever done that, and that's pretty tight, Phil.
Yeah, that was fun. That was when I moved back from Sherbrooke. I was I moved in this small town where I grew up in, so I was I'll be alone in this area. I'll just go right in the wood and film a part here,
It was sick. Yeah, one of the only snow skate concept parts that has ever come out. Super tight.
Yeah, I never thought about that. But
yeah,
that might be true. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wasn't that the retired sugar shack though? That was the old one where it started, right?
Yeah, it's not the one where we boil the syrup these days, but back in the days when I was a kid, it's just really far, in the forest, in the end of our land. So I'd say it's a 10-minute drive to at the end, in a small forest road. So that's why we built a newer sugar shack close by the road.
Gotcha. What is your favorite use for maple syrup, Phil?
My favorite what?
Your favorite use for maple syrup. Like, what is your favorite way to consume it?
Oh, use. I don't know. It's in everything here. Like, we don't really use regular sugar. So favorite use would be in my coffee and my like cooking with. We just cook with it every time. Pancakes would be,
for sure, classic. Yeah,
pretty classic, but still awesome. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like something uncommon, but it's just so common for me that everything's with maple syrup.
Sure. Liquor too? Whiskey? Do you put it in your whiskey?
I'm not a big whiskey
fan.
I
have a story about that.
Do you, Zach? Go into it.
Me or what?
Yeah, about with Phil's dad.
Oh, I'm trying to remember, but it must be something that like he puts too much liquor in your drink or something. Is that
yes. Well, when me and Jensen were visiting the sugar shack, this would have been like 3-4 years ago now. It was my first like tour through it, and you can try the maple syrup at like the different stages of through boiling. I guess you could say you could try it right out of the tree. You can try it like when it's done.
We were boiling that day.
Go ahead, yeah.
I was just saying. So you visited when we were like actually boiling the syrup, like producing it.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead.
But I think your dad was drinking something where I think it was like before it really thickened up, it was still like more liquidy, but still kind of like a thicker consistency. And he was drinking it with vodka in it. And he like, I feel like we could barely even communicate because he was very French, but he made me and Jensen this drink, and it was so predominantly vodka and so strong. And it felt like just the consistencies like separated. So it felt like I was either tasting just like at the top was like straight maple syrup or whatever, or vice versa, just straight vodka, then syrup on the bottom. So I like struggled through it. And I remember like Jensen drank it so quick. And I was like, later on, I was like, dude, Jensen, how'd you drink that so quick? He's like, dude, I went outside and just threw that in the snow. And I was like, oh, okay, that's why then. And your dad was like so hyped on it. Your dad was like, it's good. And I thought it was initially, but then it became like so gnarly. I couldn't like even barely sip on it, but I had
so much sugar.
Rude, so I drank the whole thing. And it was hot too, by the way. It's like a hot drink.
Whoa.
It was like the craziest thing for my stomach, but I finished it out of respect, and I would gladly do it again.
Yeah, it's actually a common thing in I guess in the sugar shacks here. Like, I don't know if there's an English name. There must be one, but it's called réduit in French. It's kind of like a half syrup boiled, so it's still very hot, and people put rum in it. And they might not do it as strong as that one, but my dad would always be like, all right, drink up.
So Phil, I've made my own maple syrup drink. You have to tell me if this is Quebecer approved. Right. So I just do, it's just like a little bit, or just like a normal amount of whiskey, put a little bitters in, and then I put like just a little bit of maple syrup in like a little like bowl thing, and I microwave it for like, it's like 12 seconds, just enough to get it warm enough to like dissolve in the whiskey. And then as soon as it's all mixed in, then I put ice over it. Quebecer approved. Is that something you guys do?
Man, I don't think I'm the right person to answer the question, because I'm not a big drink and liquor fan, but
sure.
Man, that sounds awesome.
Oh, it's delicious.
It sounds a little complicated, but yeah, I approve it, man. You got my approval for sure.
I wish I had some whiskey. I didn't have any. I was going to make one for this podcast, but
yeah, actually send me your recipe, because my brothers are like whiskey enthusiasts, or way more than me actually. So
okay, cool. Yeah, definitely.
I'll make them try it out.
For sure. God, it's such a good drink. But all right, let's get into the meat of the Snowskate podcast. As much as I want to talk about maple syrup for an hour and a half, we probably could. So you are not only a rider for Ambition, but you're also employed for Ambition. And we touched on this in your wet socks, but talk us through what you do for Ambition and what your day-to-day work life is working for Ambition Snowskates.
All right. So I work for Ambition half the year, like during the winter, probably from October or November up until March, whenever the syrup season starts. And
Sure.
my two main task or role is shipping the boards and like running the online store. And the other thing is the accounting, tax reports, and all that stuff. So the day to day is always different, but it's been like the orders during the sale rush that is usually in like November and December. That takes like at least half my day, sometimes more, just to like put the board in the boxes, like go to the post office, print the label, the invoice, and everything. There's a lot of emails with that. A lot of I don't know why, but so many customers put the wrong address in the order form, like when they buy a snow skate. Like lately, it's been like at least one every 10 orders that the address was messed up. So I have to like email them like, hey, like I want to make sure the boards like go in the right place, or like I have a little message that pop up saying like incomplete address.
Sure.
And then I could see the apartment numbers missing, or like something's wrong. So a lot of my time this season was dealing with these wrong address, like something like everything that went wrong with the orders, or people that did not receive their boards in time and stuff like that. And also, so that is the two main thing, but the rest is just complete random, anything a small company needs to do, because it's still a pretty small business.
Right.
Like people might think Ambition Snowskate is like they're the best in the world, like it's the biggest snow skate company, but it's still just Alex and I, like both working from home at their office, just talking on the phone every day, like, all right, what should we do? Like,
Well, it still is the biggest and the best in the world. That
is,
statement
yeah.
is still true, but it is a small operation.
I was listening to a 9 Club podcast the other day, and he was saying how small the skateboarding business was.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, people think that it's like these big companies with these big warehouse and everything, but it's so small. But I was like, try snow skating. That is small. So yeah, about my job, it's like a lot of like Alex and I talk on the phone or messenger chat every day. Like I actually talked to him an hour and a half, at least an hour and a half on the phone today. Like just
Okay.
Planning next season, like the amount of boards we do, what color of boards should we do, like anything. It's so random. It's hard to think of like very specific things.
Sure.
But sometimes it's just testing out new products. Sometimes it's just organizing events and stuff. It's just different every time. So that's actually super sick. Sometimes we just take the day off and go snow skate.
Sounds delightful.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much it. Like the two main things are online store and the accounting. And dude, it's been a crazy year so far.
Definitely. Yeah, it's been hectic.
I don't think I've ever worked that much, like in the small amount of time. Like the sale rush was like super early and, you know, faster than usual.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
I think we forgot one of Phil's roles.
What is it?
He's also our team manager.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm I don't think like
unofficial team manager. Maybe
yeah, unofficial.
Might be a better term.
I don't think we never made this official. Should we?
I always thought you were. I always say manager.
Because like one of the random things could be shipping boards to the team. So just reaching out to everyone, like seeing with them what they need and shipping out to them the flow team, anyone, the promo, every boards we ship for a promo. Like sometimes Tony Hawks wants a snow skate, or people like that. Some of my cool friends you might know, like Tony Hawks.
We gotta get you one of these shirts, Phil, like you're wearing right now, but instead of the Home Depot logo, it's like the little Ambition logo, and it can be like Team Manager Plus.
Oh, that'd be sick. Like I already got the plus badge, like not just the ordinary team manager. I go straight to like plus. That'd be sick.
I love it. Sorry, Andrew, what were you saying?
I was gonna say, do you also manage team trips when you do that? Like, if you're trying to get a group together up to Sherbrooke or something, would that be kind of somewhere?
Not officially. I think Alex managed most of them, but since it's still small and it's only Alex and I. Like, if I have time, I'll help him out with this. If he has time, he'll do it. Like I said, I'm not the official. I mean, until today, I was not the official team manager. like we never said like we need one team manager. Phil, do this job. It's just like I'm shipping their boards and like talking to them for that. But what were we saying again? Oh, the trip. I guess I just like to do this, so I help whenever I can, like booking hotels when we need and stuff like that. But it's either me or Alex, the one that has more time that day.
Do you pick a spot like ahead of time, and then does the team have like a kind of general sense of where they go? I mean, or like how that works with like if you're filming and you're like, oh
yeah, no. I don't run the trip. Like, it's just whatever people want to do, we go.
So it's pretty loose.
Yeah. I mean, if we go to Casey,
last season,
I don't know the spot that much. Oh, last season the team trip did not go that well for me.
Last season, I remember when we went on like that team trip, like we got to Alex's house, Blaze's house, and he like had a spot list on his refrigerator with pictures. So he's like, this one today, where do you guys want to go? And we're like, that looks cool.
and the team trip last year was in Sherbrooke, which where it's where Alex lives. I'm not in that city anymore. I'm like an hour away. So obviously he knows the spots more than me. People were crashing at his place, so like he was doing that part for sure.
Yeah.
So I came more like as a rider than a team manager there.
Sure.
Well, you were just sick the whole time, so you made soup.
Yeah. One thing that did not help. Like my daughter is she was 1 year old back in the day, and she just started daycare, like going to daycare. And I realized that when kids start daycare, they bring home every type of like flu and cold and stuff like that, and like they're making their immune system so they just catch at least one time like every one of the disease or sickness you can get. So I was just like catching them all like one after the other during the team trip, like not feeling very well.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah. But this winter I've been feeling super great, like because of all the COVID stuff. People take care of like they wash their hands, wearing masks, like no one's getting sick, so I'm feeling super great.
Yeah, everyone's careful and no one really sees anybody else, so
yeah,
it's been great. I haven't been sick for a year either. It's been awesome.
Yeah.
Me either. That's insane. This is the longest I've ever went in my life without getting sick, and I think it's because of that too.
Yeah, same with me. Even if I get like a sniffle, I get like super like freaked out. I'm like, oh, what's going on? Where did this come from? Like, how did I even get this? You know? Now, the accounting portion is really interesting though, Phil. So like for Ambition's like revenue and profits year to date, like what have they brought in so far this year?
Yeah, a lot of money.
I'm joking.
No, I'm kidding. Yeah,
no, but go ahead, Phil.
Yeah, I mean, of course, I will not like reveal all this stuff, but I guess I can say like even like people think that it's super big, but we cannot grow like twice as fast twice as fast as last year in like one season. This season the demand was so crazy,
right?
Like we made a little more boards than last year. That's what we were doing like every year, trying to grow a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
We did not expect crazy high demands like that. So even if it's like on the barracks, on everything, like on everyone's mind this season, like we don't have boards since December 1st or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely been a tough season between just logistical challenges and the board shortage. So we talked about it on previous podcasts, but is there anything that we missed on those podcasts, Phil, or anything from your perspective regarding the board shortage or any challenges that Ambition face that we may not be aware of?
I mean, I'll say what I like my point of view.
Yeah.
And I don't remember exactly what you guys said, but when we plan the next season, it's about a year in advance because boards are super long to make and they're made by hand in Quebec. So it's not like we can just produce boards like this. We have to order like thousands of plies of wood and like the grips and everything. So I remember talking with Alex and trying to figure out the numbers for the next season. That was about this time last year. COVID was not like really like people were not stressing about it that much here, but like we were talking about it. It was mostly in like Asia or something at that time. So I remember saying like the economy is not going to be super great probably next season. Like, should we consider making less boards in case like we get stuck with many boards that don't sell? And we didn't. Like we still went like it could go either one way or the other. No one knew that there would be like a curfew or like a prohibition to like go anywhere.
Yeah,
and
the
people
lockdown,
that would just lock down, and so people would just like try to do stuff at home and like indoor skate park would be closed. We could not predict this at all.
Right.
So that's why like the number of boards, like people think we did not make that many, but we made more than last year. So that's good. It just sold so fast. And then it sold like usually the biggest month of sales are like November and December. And that season, well, this season in October, it started super crazy. Like days of like selling like it was just before Christmas. So we still did not know like what was coming. We thought maybe that could be just people buying their boards in advance because they know that shipping might be not so good this year.
Right.
So after like a few weeks of that, we started realizing that we won't have any more boards soon. But there were also talks about lockdown, like every business that is not essential had to close down for like at least a month, and 2 times I think that happened this winter. So even if we wanted to make more boards, the time to get the materials, the lockdown that closed like the factory, factory for a few weeks, like we could not have done it in time. So that's pretty much why, if people are wondering like why there's no Ambition boards, like why we don't produce more boards, it was not doable. Of course we would have done it if we could.
I don't know if you saw, but you got called out on Instagram. There was someone who wrote a song about not being able to buy a snowskate. Did you see that?
I think I've seen it.
I thought that was great. I wish I was trying to look up who that user was, but I was
what was it? I've seen it. It was like recently, right?
Yeah,
like a week ago maybe.
But he made a really great song calling you out on the shortage, and I was like, that's one of the most creative things to come out of the shortage, I think. So.
Yeah, I think I've seen it, and it was so funny. Like it's funny everything on Instagram. Every time Alex posts something on Instagram, the comments are like, "Yeah, but that would be great if we could buy some boards. Like, where are the boards?"
Yeah, my friends and I were saying like it sucks to even get a clip on there anymore because no one's like, "Hey, sick video." Everyone's like, "Yo, where the fuck are the boards?" It's like, "Oh, my clip. Come on, I was trying so hard."
Like it's crazy. Like how many times I get asked, like if I have an old board, like for friends or anything, like pretty much once a day. Like everyone, like one a friend or like a person I know just calls me or texts me like, "Hey, by chance, do you have any boards for sale? Like an old one, or like just an old one." So the first like couple of friends that reached out to me, I gave them my old boards, but now I'm like, I'm out. I'm sorry. Like I really would like to give you a board, but I'm out. Like the ones that I have, I need them. So
Speaking
that's pretty
of,
much it for
this-
the shortage.
Yeah.
Sorry, Zach, what?
I thought someone else was about to ask you a question. I was going to ask you, where do you see demand going in the future? Let's say, COVID and the restrictions and everything that comes with it kind of starts to taper off. Do you think we'll see still the same demand, or do you think a lot of that demand was only due to COVID, or do you think because COVID allowed it to become more popular, we're still going to see it retaining this like level of popularity?
Yeah, that's a really good question, because Alex and I talked on the phone about this like for a long time today. That's part of what we do, and it's pretty hard to know what will happen in 1 year. Like, we did not know last year what would happen at this moment. So like, maybe there'll be a zombie apocalypse next year that will maybe make the demand like rise or fall, like who knows. But for sure, like, we're gonna make as many boards as we can next season, like try to be ready for that, because the virus might, like, it could still be there. People could still want snow skating as much as like snow skate as much as they wanted now, but we don't know. And I think that it's still gonna be like pretty good, because a lot of the people that want a snow skate could not buy one this season. So if they still want one, like if they really want one, they're gonna try to get their hand on one next season. But I don't know if this gonna last forever. Like, people will want to go back to normal. Like, people are really just waiting for this virus to end and like go back to their normal life. Like, I really hope that some people discovered it and will still do it, but who knows? For sure, it'll be better. Like, it can't be worse, right?
Right.
Yeah,
like,
I think it'll be better.
So many more people like discovering it, and like skaters. Right. And
if there was like one positive side to COVID, it was the fact that like it allowed people to be exposed to snow skating, or just being more active in general, or trying to be. So hopefully people keep doing that after all this.
We were like, Alex is kind of bummed of not having enough boards to supply the demands, and I mean, I am too, I understand, but we could be in a so much worse situation. Like, if you think of all the restaurants or gym or bars that are still closed, I mean, depending on where you are, but like, we actually had a crazier demand than we ever had, and we're not able to supply it. It's bad, but it's, at the same time, it's a good position to be in.
Right. Definitely. So
next season, be ready. We'll have boards.
We'll be ready, and everyone else will be ready. All right, let's take a quick Zoom break here, guys.
All
right, we're back from our Zoom break. Phil, kicking it back to you. I know you want to touch on some additional logistical challenges that you and Ambition have faced this year.
Yeah. I want to apologize to everyone that ordered a board or a grip and had trouble with their shipping. Like, I really did my best this season, and we had so much trouble with shipping providers, like with mostly Canada Post and USPS. It's been hectic, man. Like, I don't know if you knew, but they had like a higher demand than they ever had, like a record demand of package for like before Christmas, right in our sales period. So, well, at first they just stopped like guaranteeing the delivery in time, so you could like ship them, but they would not guarantee it would be there in time. So they did that last year, and it was fine, like fair enough. But then like we started getting emails of people not getting their boards, and more emails came up, and I was like, oh shit, like I don't really have that much option, because like shipping boards with other companies than USPS or Canada Post is like sometimes twice as expensive, like too much like pricey for the boards. Or so, oh man, you should see like how many package were lost this season. It's crazy. We had to like just deal with it and absorb it. And some people would like email us a month or a month and a half after ordering their X grip, and they would still not have it. It's lost in the mail. I'm like, shit. All right, I'm just gonna send you a new one. Hope it gets there this time. And I had a list of like all the problems we had this season. I forgot to bring it, but I had like a few of them, like stuff like one board got like damage in the shipping. It never happened to us in like 10 years of shipping boards. One board like got there with like a hole in it, kind of like someone hit it with an axe. Like the tail had a huge chunk in it. So I was like, yeah, I would like to replace it, but I don't have any more boards.
Oh man.
So like we just reimbursed him, like so much stuff like that. What else we had? That guy had a defective board in Germany, so we sent him a replacement board. It took like quite a while, and we realized that the package was stuck at the custom clearance or something like that. So we tried to reach UPS, and the customer tried to reach him on his end, and they asked us for more paper, like more custom invoice and everything. Like we sent them papers and like dealing with them on the phone for like a couple weeks every day, like calling them, sending stuff, and like asking the receiver the bill for his boards, and like what was it, like so much stuff that he didn't have, like paper that did not make sense. So we like try to tell them like, we gave you everything we had, everything you needed, like why is the board not delivered yet? And after like 2 weeks of that, they were just like, all right, they just delivered it. But it took forever. Like we didn't do anything else. Like we just sent them the paper that were already there on the system, you know? Mm-hmm. So like it just took so much time for that. The guy was finally happy. He got it today, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But stuff like that, like we apologized to everyone. We did what we could, but we had so much trouble with boards and X grip not being delivered. So many were lost in the mail. So many. Oh, and I shipped one to like a grip to a customer in Toronto. Like from here to Toronto, it usually takes 2 or 3 days. And so that person like emailed us because he didn't have it yet. And after a few weeks, we were like, yeah, wait a little more. Like we know like the delays are longer this season, but we'll send you another one if it's not there by this date. And it took a month. He finally got it after 1 month instead of like 2 or 3 days. So stuff like that every day was part of my job this season.
Yeah, it's crazy. It just anecdotally, I work in the transportation industry, and I managed parcel shipments for a couple of years. And even without this crazy demand that we've had this season, parcel carriers are garbage when it comes to finding like lost or damaged shipments. Like they do not really do anything for you.
Tell me, yeah. And every time I try to, make a complaint, and like they have the, it's called a service ticket with Canada Post. Like you can like, write enter your tracking number and select a reason. Like it's the board did not get delivered, or it did not, it was damaged or anything. Every time I did a complaint, it never worked out. They would just like close the thing, like, sorry, like we can't help you. Like, oh, man, come on, like you have the board, like I sent him like this date. It's not like a Robbie, what's his name? Robbie Pizzapoli?
Yeah.
Oh, Pizzapoli, yeah, Robbie Polly.
Robbie Polly, yeah. Like, sorry, Robbie, I sent his board November 1st, and it's still not delivered today. Like, I tried today contacting Canada Post. Whenever I try, like, they don't have any more information. It sucks. So now, like, I don't have any more boards to replace, or I would send like just another board with another carrier or something, but we don't have more boards. Such a bad situation.
It is, and it's unfortunate. And it's unfortunate that you guys get the blame when there's like you guys are doing everything you can, and there's literally nothing that you guys can do because the carriers
we did our best. I think customers are like always, and like there's always like they're happy in the end. Like we try to make them happy with what we can. Like we can't send another board at the moment, but they're always like super pissed at first when they email us like, hey, I don't have my board. And I just like write the same email that I write to everyone. Like, I'm sorry, like Canada Post has a huge demand this season, and especially with COVID, like it takes a longer time. They're doing what they can. Like, here's the tracking number, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh, thanks for your help. You're very nice. And I'll wait a little longer. I'm like, thank you. And now they like a week later, they just answer me back like, hey, I finally got it. Thanks for your help. But it's so much emails, man. You have no idea.
Phil, I bet you have some really, really good customer service skills at this point.
I'm getting better. I'm doing my best. I've gained some XPs in the days.
Oh, I love it.
Hopefully this will be like the hardest year.
Mm.
It'll only get easier from here, right?
Yeah, I hope so. Well, it's slowed down. Like it's been really busy, but now since a couple of weeks, maybe we're finally seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Like weeks are getting like normal now. Finally.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that's good to hear. And on top of the many hats that you wear, one of the more fun things that you do for Ambition, I don't know if this is like formally a part of your job or whatever, but you help run the Ambition Army. So talk us through the origin of that and how you curate content for the Ambition Army. Sure.
That started when Alex and I were talking one day randomly about the forum. You guys talk about the Ambition Forum and the Premier Forum from back in the days. So this is gone now. And we were talking about how that brought a sense of community in snow skating. Everyone in the world that was a snow skate enthusiast could just chat and exchange like tips or videos and whatever. And we felt like now it was just Ambition doing their thing and that's it. Back in the days, it was like everyone in the world snow skating, like gathering in this forum, and like there might not have been like many people, but there was like this community, right? So the first, like the origin of the Ambition Army was like, let's create a place where people can share their videos and comment on other videos and like, know who's snow skating out there. And Instagram was and probably still is the most used media platform, I'd say, like social media platform. So that's why we created the Facebook group back in the day and the Ambition Army Instagram. Like Facebook is not used that much anymore. I don't use it personally. So that's one reason. And the other reason is I was seeing so much like good snow skate clips on Instagram and just wanted to put them out there so people can see it. Like that when random dude does a board slide, like laser flip out on a ledge, like it's sick. Like there are so many sick clips from snow skaters around the world. So I wanted to create that platform to share them. And they're like, these were the reason behind it, just to create that community and people, like a place for people to share their experience and questions and everything.
I love when you post on there because I don't really search as much as I used to for like snow skate content. So I'm glad you go out there and kind of nab that stuff that I might not see otherwise. So
yeah, I've been slacking on it.
My only encouragement
lately
would be, I wish you'd post more.
I wish I would. Like that's the thing lately with the new house that I have, the job that's been like crazy time consuming, and the baby and everything. Like it's been hard to like just scroll through the hashtags and see everything. But I will, like I usually go through them all. Like people send them in the DMs like, hey, here's my clip. Like if you just hashtag it, like we'll see it. It might take a few days. Like whenever I'll have time, I'll check it. But I wish I could do it like more often. these days,
Yeah,
but
if you
I'll get back to it.
if you need help with it again, Phil, let me know. I forgot
Oh,
I
for sure, that
had
would
helped
help.
you a little
'Cause
bit with it last year.
yeah, thanks. I think I'll get your help for sure. Like they are, I don't know, I'm late, like, but usually we're up to date with like the hashtag, and we just scroll through. And one thing too, like people sometimes they just actually tag the Ambition Army in their post without using the hashtag, and that goes in the like the notification thing, but goes so far down that I don't see them. Or what else do they do? Like I wanted to just say this in this podcast, like the easiest way to for us to see it, if you use the DM hashtag, like Ambition Snowskate hashtag, if you send it in the DM, it's just so slow on my internet, so it just takes me forever like to check all the DMs. And if
Which
you
is
just
why you're
tag,
doing the podcast at your parents' house right now, because internet at your house is so bad.
that's correct. We tried at my house the other day, and internet was just too bad. So I'm in my parents' basement right now. Internet is better there. And I'm actually
Does anyone
doing
else?
oh,
I was gonna say,
sorry,
does
Zach.
anyone else help you with the podcast, or excuse me, with the Ambition Army? Was it?
No,
Is it just only you?
it's just me. Chuck Dion helped a little bit a few years ago, I think. It's just
Okay,
me.
maybe that's
Sometimes
what I'm
Alex,
thinking
like when
of.
Alex sees something, he just send it to me, and I'll post it. And sometimes, what's cool too, it's with the Ambition Army, when something is like really really sick, I just send it to Alex, and he posts it on the actual Ambition page. So we just like send us stuff like that, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
It's such a cool concept to have that. Well, you have the curated Ambition Snowskates account for, like, I guess the top tier content, if you will, official Ambition stuff, whatever. And then you have I don't want to call it a second tier, but you have this other area for people that are just snow skate enthusiasts to go and post their own thing and have a chance to get that exposure. And then we have a chance as viewers on social media to not have to weed through absolutely everything and get a curated feed of like all the stuff that would be interesting as a fan of snow skating. So it's such a cool idea. And Zach, to your point, you'd be such a good moderator for that, or content curator, if you will. I think that'd be a great role for you.
Yeah, I helped him with it last spring a little bit, or like late winter, early spring. So let me know if you need help again. I'd love to do it. On a different, or on the same topic, do you guys remember when, maybe you guys don't, but when Premiere would do that too? They would like allow you to submit videos, and then they had like a user section on their website. And I remember when I was a kid, I posted like some of my first videos and pictures to it, and I was so fucking stoked to be featured on it. So maybe it'll stoke some kids out to be, featured on the Ambition Army too. And I think that's great.
Yeah. I was about to say the same thing. One of the reason when I created this is, I remember back in the days too, I was submitting photos to the Premiere website, and they would post it on their website, and I was so stoked. I think one day like one of my photos got there, so I wanted to like give something for kids to be hyped, like they might have a chance to be in the Ambition Army. Like I guess they might be as hyped as we were back in the days with the Premiere website. I mean, I'm hoping.
I'm sure they are. And like you posted some of my clips this year, Phil, and I was so stoked to be on the Ambition Army this year. Like it's sick. Super cool. Sorry, Zach, what you're saying?
Do you remember how Premiere would take like months to update their website, sometimes like multiple months. So then suddenly your photo would pull up on it, and you'd be like, "Oh shit!" I was like showing kids at school.
I mean, I'm not even sure my photo was there. I think it happened once.
They're like, "Do you ride for them?" I was like, "No."
No. I just remember, going there, and then like they were not uploading it at all.
That's funny. Such a cool concept, though. Thank you for doing that, Phil. Zach, you should start doing that as well.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but if you guys have any suggestion on the Ambition Army, like I feel like I don't have that much time to do it right now. I wish I had more like time to go through them all and post it more like faster. Sometimes like I'm a week late, like just posting stuff that were post a week earlier. But I was wondering, like, should we do like some challenge or something, like a best clip of the week, or like best video of the month, or kickflip of the day or whatever it could be. Like, I don't want to get in the too much in competition with Matt plays Go Snow Skating Day, but I'm sure we could, host something. I just did not have the the right concept yet. But if you guys have any suggestion, I'm open for it.
Yeah, even like I haven't thought about this, but like just some challenge or something to work toward, like we were talking about in Matt's contest, is like it'd be awesome. Just like even if you give people a week and say, hey, submit your best 360 flip under this Ambition Army 360 flip hashtag or whatever it may be, or best edit throughout the month of February to be featured or something like that. Like just something to work toward if you're interested in that, to work on top of the stuff that you're already doing. I feel like that could be a good motivator for a lot of people, and just a chance to get that better content out there for everybody.
It'd even be cool to kind of try to push like a harder trick or something we don't see that often, like even like a frontside 360 challenge. Like we've never really seen one yet.
Yeah.
But I bet someone out there could probably do it, or even like back three. Just one of those tricks that's very like not common. Just to be like, hey, if you can do this, let's give them motivation
challenge
to try it.
Challenge kids to do an edit without any tree shove in it, like just tricks without tree shove in their edits. Dude, I'd be hyped.
Oh, that's funny.
I'm kidding. I'm just seeing too many of this trick.
I'm not.
Like a best frontside flip or something, like a trick that's like cool but is really hard for a lot of people.
Hard one, yeah.
Yeah, that would be really cool. So yeah, something like that would be awesome, Phil. I'd love to see something like that in the Ambition Army.
Just send, if some people listen to this and have ideas, just send them in. We'll try to do something cool with that.
For sure. DM the Ambition Army or DM the Snowskate Source, and we'll make sure they get to the right place.
Yep.
Let's go into our top secret snowskate repair methodology. But first, let's take a quick Zoom break and reset our timer here. All right, we are back. Phil, let's go into the top secret snowskate maintenance trick that we declined to discuss on Danny B's podcast.
Oh,
this is newly discovered in snow skating. Actually, I don't know if it's newly discovered. That's probably not true, but at least we became aware of it this year. So since you were kind of leading the charge on this, do you want to walk us through it, Phil?
For sure. It is newly discovered like a few weeks ago, actually. I mean, for me and Alex and everyone, I guess, that we know. I heard you guys talking about that on the other podcast, and I was like, it shouldn't be secret. Like, it's so sick. It's
my only concern is the dust thing, and I'll talk about that later. But
yeah.
Go ahead.
Like, of course, like we'll say it right away. Like, don't do this at home, kids. Right? But I'll explain what I did and what I found out to fix my base on my snow skate base. And made it like way faster. And I don't know, it just felt like a revolutionary thing. Like for years, we've been kind of like not stuck, like we didn't want to ride the roughest spots right away on our newer boards because I mean, for me, I was afraid to just ruin my board right away. Mm-hmm. And now Alex and I were talking, like we didn't have any boards left. Everybody wanted boards. We had like old boards, and Alex called me one day and he was like, man, we need to fix those bases. Like we need to find a solution. So we tried like a couple things here and there, and one of our buddies suggested sanding. So I tried it out, and here it is. I guess I'll just explain what the technique is for those who wants to fix their base at home. It's now possible to bring an old board that doesn't slide like anymore, that's super slow, to bring it back to almost like a new board. Like Zach, I know you tried the thing. Would you say it goes as fast as a new board now?
Honestly, no, not as fast, but it's damn near close, and it's a really, really great solution, and it'll expand the life of your board by quite a bit.
Many years.
I've done it on 2 boards, and it's almost new. I wouldn't say it's brand new, like that pristine plastic, but it's like
that's the same.
after a session or two, like about that same. And I didn't even do it as good as you did either, Phil. Like we'll go into details. I'll let you explain it first.
You're saying it exactly how I would say it. It's pretty much like the board comes back to a new board after a couple sessions. When you scratch it just a little bit, so it's not that like how would you say
like glossy, pristine,
yeah. But it's still like pretty much just as fast, like 90% fast, like the 90% of a new board, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So here is how we did it. Like we can't really say like go do this at home because it's requires like sanding the board, and it's sanding plastic, and we don't know yet like if the dust from the plastic really can hurt you, like your lungs and everything. Like it's definitely not good to breathe. And it's new for us. We just discovered that a few weeks ago. So here it is. We realized that by sanding the board, the base down with different grit, you could actually bring it back to like a slick plastic. It's pretty simple. I bought some sanding belts for a belt sander. So mine is 3 inches wide. I think Zach tried it with the 4 inches wide. Not sure.
I use 4.
4, all right. So I guess whatever the size, but it worked for us, 3 or 4 inches wide. I tried with like a rougher grit first. Mine was like 80, I think. So that will bring it, like take all the bigger scratch away. The goal is to put it back to like a slick plastic, but you can't do it right away with the finer grit because the bigger scratch will stay there. So you have to go with I did with 5-step, like grit number 80, and then 120, and then 240, then 300 something, and then 400, something like that, you know, like 5 different grit, and ended up with the 400. About like a minute each belt, just enough like to make it smooth. And that was pretty much it. Just sanding it takes like 10 minutes. And after that, like the bigger scratch are still there for sure. It doesn't bring it back like looking like a new board, but the finer grit at the end, the 400, makes it super like slick and takes out pretty much all of the scratches and bring the base as pretty much as fast as a newer board. It's awesome. Like we've been looking for this, like for a trick to do this for many years. We've been scraping the boards. It kind of works at first, but if you have a really messed up board, the razor or blade thing will not do miracles, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing. If you have any question about like how you want to do it, just DM me or the Ambition Army or whatever. Like we'll be happy to help you out. It's such a thing that I don't think such a sick thing. I don't think it should be a secret. Like we're not sure we can put it on the Ambition website like officially, like you said, because we don't want people to breathe that dust and you know have problem with that. So make sure you wear a mask if ever you. I mean, I'm not saying you to do it, you know, but I wore a mask doing it.
For sure. Yeah. That the disclaimer being wear as good of a mask as you can, ideally like a dedicated dust mask. Yeah, do it outdoors if you can to limit exposure, and just try to ensure you're in a place with good circulation, and do everything you can to avoid breathing whatever plastic dust may be generated from that. Cause it's like, I don't know what it is. I can't speak to it. You know, I don't know.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like breathing dust from wood, I'm sure your body is able to like not digest, but like, you know, get away of the wood. Like it's organic, you know, but plastic, you've heard of the stories of like fishes having plastic in their stomachs and dying because of that. Like if you breathe plastic, it might just stay in your lungs like for 300 years or something. So that's
I don't think I certainly don't know what's in the Ambition plastic bases, and just because of that uncertainty, and just the potential for consuming it. That's my only concern in the hang up with it. But I mean, that being said, I still did it and took every precaution that I could, and it worked really good.
Yeah,
and
like
what you said about
go
ahead, Phil.
If you would do it every day on like 100 boards a day and breeding that thing every day, like I would be really concerned. But just I did it on 4 boards, and I'm so happy to have found this solution now. It's like I was saying, my girlfriend, like, dang, you don't realize, like, we've been looking for a solution for years and years, and now we have it, like, right there in my basement. And like she was like, "Yeah, you're just sanding your board, or whatever."
Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy.
It's surprising it took this long, in my opinion.
I know.
I mean, there's
simple,
no way
actually.
it wasn't a thought. I'm sure I even had it too. But also, I think we should clarify that you should use a belt sander. I've done it by hand. I tried it by hand. It kind of worked, but not as well as a belt sander, obviously. I just don't think, maybe if I would have did it for way longer by hand, and I had like not just like hand sanding, I guess I should say. I had like the tool that hooks the.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's like it allows it to distribute the pressure. Yeah, it hooks up to like a little sanding block. That's the word I'm looking for. But it didn't work as well, even though I spent like an hour doing it. So I would say belt sander's a must. And also, if you fuck your board up, we didn't tell you to try it, so hopefully you wouldn't. Though.
I mean,
it does work. It's great.
To screw up if you end up with the finer grit.
I wouldn't think
make
so.
it better.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll add a couple more details on my experience too. And first, do not use a disc sander, use a belt sander. Apparently an orbital sander, because it goes in the opposite direction, will ruin your board. So you do have to use a belt sander, and you do have to go nose to tail for the entirety of the sanding process, or else you totally will ruin your board. But what Phil was describing, going from like 80, 160, 240, 320, 400, or whatever it was, what I ended up doing is I only had access to a 4-inch belt sander and 80 and 120 grit. So I did most of it at 80. I did a bit at 120, and then I went to my local hardware store. They didn't have anything else, but they had little like 3M hand sanding blocks at 180 and 320 grit. So once I did most of the work on the belt sander, I just did what I could with the hand sanding blocks. Just a couple minutes with each, just to try to make it a little bit finer. I don't even know if it really helped, but the majority of the work was done at the 80 and 120 grit with the belt sander. And I brought a board back from the dead. I mean, this was a board from like 2016. I had board slid on concrete sideways, so there were gouges going through the middle of it that I like really had to work out with the belt sander. And even when I was done, I took a razor to those at the end of it as well, just to get some of like those gouges out of it. And still, like you said, it was like an almost new board, even with like I didn't go as fine as you did, and it was a totally destroyed board. It still worked that well.
That's awesome. And still, this is a new thing for us. Like we're saying, we all have our different things we tried. If anyone has newer ideas or tried something that worked even better, just reach us out. Like we're
yes, please.
Like we're happy to help you out and trying to find the best way to fix the bases. This is a fairly new thing in snow skating. Usually when you stop using your board, it's because the base was gone. It was too scratched. Now you can make your boards last so much longer.
It's funny how Eric had said, or I guess we've even said this in our group chat, it's like always go nose to tail. But honestly, I kind of just went back and forth on mine, at least in areas, and it still was fine. I don't know if we really need to do it nose to tail. I'm just going to throw that out there from my own experience.
But the important thing is the belt is always going the same direction, right?
Yeah, compared to the orbital.
I was bringing it back
like
on it.
Other sanders.
But
I'm not saying use the orbital.
But you weren't flipping the belt sander 180 degrees, were you?
Yeah. No, sorry. You're right. No, but I was just going back and forth. So I guess the thing was still moving the same way. You're correct.
As long as the belt is still going nose to tail
while the board
whole
stayed.
Time. Yeah, that's still fine as long as the belt is still going nose to tail, yeah.
I messed up once and I flipped the board or the sander, and I don't think that matters that much because in the end, you're putting it like in such a smooth surface that the last grit. I mean, for me, I had the 400 grit on the belt center, and you don't really see the side, like the way of where it goes in the end. I'm pretty sure it doesn't really matter as long as you finish it with finer grit.
Okay.
I'm not sure yet. Like we haven't tried that many times. But if you would only do like the rougher grit, like the 80 or like 120, and if you would go reverse from tail to nose, I'm sure that won't be good. But if you keep going and sanding it, and in the end, the scratches that will be either one way or the other will be so tiny or like almost gone that I personally think that it doesn't really matter, but I haven't tried it yet.
Sure. Yeah, just calling that out to be safe because I just don't think we don't really know. But sorry, go ahead, Zach.
Right. I was going to say, did you guys notice the appearance of your board kind of looking maybe a little bit almost cloudier, maybe?
Yeah.
Like I noticed I got done with it, and I went up to 1,000 for the record. We used 1,000. We went 600, then even this special 1,000 plastic paper, which I think did wonders. I think that was one of the game changers. But anyways, point being, I got done with it, and I felt it, and I was like, damn, that is so smooth by touch. But it is kind of almost like a cloudier look, and I'm like, okay, I'm kind of worried. But then I went and threw down outside, jumped on the board, and I was like, holy shit, it's like brand new. So I wouldn't say don't let the appearance throw you off if it maybe looks almost like it might be scratched a little bit, because it performs great.
The cloudy looks is I'm sure it's probably because it's, even if you use the 1,000 grit, there are still some tiny scratches on it. It's not like slick as a newer. So the tiny scratches probably makes it look like milky or cloudy.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. My question would be, though, using it, making basically this glossy finish, making it a porous kind of finish to it. My wonder would be if like a speed wax or anything would be able to get in, like if you, which is something that you should maybe try.
We have to try it out.
Yeah, because that would actually probably hold wax now.
Well, Alex will.
Never thought of that.
Like if you, I don't know if I can say this, but if ever one day you have Alex on the podcast, he can explain more about this. But I know that the type of plastic used in the Ambition boards does not hold the wax.
Right.
Like it's something like it's not porous like a snowboard base, so you can wax it, but it won't stick to it. That's why like we don't say to people to wax their board when it's slow. But my friend told me about cross-country skiing type of wax that is made for these type of plastic. Like I'm not sure, I haven't tried it out, but he just told me that the other day that we have to try like a cross-country ski type wax.
Mm-hmm.
That might work. Or maybe like not the whole season, but like if it lasts for a few days, that's worth trying.
Yeah.
I tried waxing with regular snowboard wax, and it only lasts like 30 minutes or like half a session maybe on the board.
Yeah, because the bases, they won't take the wax, but if your board is kind of beat up, the wax will stay in the crevices of the board. So it will do a little bit, even though the plastic itself won't take. So
yeah.
I mean, I think that's what Andrew was saying, right? It's like because you were sanding it, maybe it would kind of take it better.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we should try.
Yeah, why not? As long as it's with an old board, why not? What do you have to lose?
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, paste wax.
These are a hot commodity right now.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, this is a great year to discover this.
Yeah. Actually, in my parents' garage, I found a board, like an old board that I gave my brothers for Christmas a few years ago. It's still like fairly new. They haven't used it much yet because it's still there in the garage here. So I just found it the other day, and like I was about to ask them, like, hey, like actually one of my brother like asked me for one board. Like everyone is asking me for boards these days. One of my brother asked me for an old board. I gave him one, and I just found this board there that I gave them like a few years ago. You should use this one. It's still new. Like we have a rare gem right there, like something that's worth so much these days, sitting in the garage right there. I'm gonna get so much like DMs and emails after that. They know I have a board that's unused and it's fairly new. Oh my god.
Oh, that's funny. But yeah, DM us or DM Phil if you guys have any other questions on the process. Sure. Again, it's new. We're still figuring this out as we go. And again, there are certainly precautions that we strongly recommend taking if you're going to try to do this yourself. Also worth calling out, again, this is new to us. But there's probably only a handful of times you can do this because you are physically removing the base. And after a certain number of times, you're going to get down to where you're not going to have that many grooves left or that much of grooves left. That base isn't going to be that thick anymore. And your tracking is probably going to suffer after a certain point. So it's not like you can do this after every session. There are certainly limitations to do this process because it is physically destructive to the base.
Yeah. I wonder.
Let me ask you guys this. With full transparency, for me, I've done it only once to my last year's board, and maybe it's in my head, but it feels a little bit more wishy-washy, doesn't track as well. Maybe, I don't know if have you guys experienced that at all? It's way faster and it's still manageable, but it feels a little bit almost like the old Revolution or something, like the old Ambition.
It felt a little
board.
squirrelier for me, the one board that I did ride as well.
Okay.
I wasn't sure. I couldn't put my
finger
finger on it. I've only ridden them, I think, once because the snow has been so garbage here in Minneapolis. But I do recall it being a bit squirrelier, but I can't say for certain.
I haven't noticed it yet.
Okay.
No. Don't let me put it in your head then.
Yeah.
Because I'm just mental about that kind of stuff. So, but like Eric said, yeah, use discretion. If you do it too many times, I'm sure there will be some adverse effects. So keep that in mind.
Definitely.
For sure.
All right, let's get into some listener questions.
Oh, shit.
Phil, you were very popular. Very popular for this round.
They're all his own.
Yeah, it's probably every other guest you had that's trying to get back at me.
Yeah, there were a handful that were your own questions in here, Phil. We'll get to them eventually.
All right, let's go.
Cam R22, what is your favorite part you have been in, Phil?
Favorite part? I'd say the Let's Play one because it opened it was the first part of the video. It had a big kickflip in the beginning, at least big for me. It was a 9 stairs, and I think that was my first full part for Ambition. Oh no, I had a Safari Time part before, but that was
yeah.
I think my first part that I was really hyped on.
Yeah, and you ended with the nollie tray and then the backside flip.
Yeah.
Right?
The backside flip, yeah.
Yeah, those are a couple of great trays. That's probably one of the best backside flips done in snow skating. That was such a good backside flip.
Thanks, man.
Big fan of that, Phil. Big fan.
Thank you. So yeah, I would say the Let's Play one. And of course the Encore too. It's better, but either one of the two.
Yeah, that was a very fun part. I enjoyed that. Jensen, what is the boiling point of maple syrup?
Oh, what's up, Jensen? It's 7 degrees higher than the boiling point of water. The boiling point of water would change with the pressure. How would you say it in English? The atmosphere pressure.
Altitude.
Kind of. Yeah. It depends. Not just that. It depends every day. The water would boil at a different. It's point something degrees. Every day would be a different degree. So I would just adjust it on my thing, but it's 7 degree higher, and water would boil at, I think it's 212 Fahrenheit.
Yep.
Around that. So that would be 219 in theory, but in real life, it goes from 217 to 221 depending on the day.
Gotcha.
So that pressure would be measured by a barometer. So you're saying that that goes into it somehow, huh?
Yeah, that affects the water boiling temperature. I hope that answers the question. Well, Jensen?
Yeah, that was good. Similar question from Snow Skirt. Do a kickflip 5.0 drinking syrup.
Oh, I've tried a kickflip, tail press, or 5.0, whatever it's called, on the ledge this season. Did not. Well, I landed a few, but they were not really good. I did not have my syrup with me. That's probably why.
That's probably the problem.
That's probably why. But yeah, I'll try.
Next
session,
actually, on that.
Zach,
I was hyped on that clip, Phil.
Yeah, you saw that?
I saw it. I've seen everything.
Oh, yeah. And did you know that Dan was drinking the syrup, and that's why Dan is so good this season? Alex was telling him, what's happening? What did you eat this morning? You're killing it. And he was like, oh, I've been having Phil syrup and having such a great day. So I think the secret.
I actually didn't know that.
You didn't know? Ask Dan,
I didn't know
that's
that
the
Dan's
secret.
even been snow skating that much. I know he's been hurt for so long, but this season he's like back. I didn't know he's been like Alex shares a lot of clips with me, but I haven't seen any of Dan. So I did. This is good news to me.
Well, that was at beginning of the season. So, did you say Dan was hurt?
Are you talking about Dan Cheese Bacon?
No, I'm talking about Dan Gucci. Dan.
Oh, what the fuck? I'm way off.
I was confused.
Too many
You know-
Dans on the fucking team.
Yeah.
Phil, when you did after you did Wet Sox, I asked you. I said, "How do I get some of your syrup?" And you were like, "Oh, the duties, Andrew. It's going to be hard to get it in the States." And I was just like, "All right." But now I know it's like I thought. It's the secret to good snow skating.
That's why. Did I say it was hard to get in the borders? I can't recall that.
That's right. I have the chat on my phone.
Oh, because I know it's since it's heavy, it's hard to. Well, it's expensive to ship.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could bring you some at the borders, but like I obviously can't like fill my trunk with syrup. But if ever I go to the States near your area, like I'll try to remember.
I'll get up there.
Phil, okay, how about this? The box that you hopefully will send me next November, if I'm still around and if you're still sending me stuff, I will pay you extra to put some maple syrup in the box for myself, Andrew, and Alan.
I feel bad, man. There is a little bit of a shortage in our maple syrup this season too.
Oh my goodness!
Season like this.
Always
season,
excuses.
COVID has like had everyone cooking at home too. So I just sold my last, I think, box of can this week actually. But I'll try to find some. Maybe my brothers have some syrup at their home, and I'll add some syrup for sure.
I was like, COVID hit the trees too? Like, oh no.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying.
and shout out to Snowskate who asked the question at first. Like I think we went way off subject right there, but
we did.
Shout out to Snowskate and his backside nose blunt that he does on his boxes. I'm a fan.
I've
been riding my box the other day and trying to get this trick back from. I was doing it back in the days and just wanted to say a little quick shout out to this guy.
For sure, he rips. Captain Milk, prefer flat bar or round rail when snow skating?
Oh, for sure flat. Because the flat bar that I had when I was a kid was square, about 2 inches wide, and I learned with this, so I'm a little scared of round rails. But actually, my friend just gave me his a round flat bar, so I'm gonna. I just painted it today, so it's not ready yet. But I'm gonna try to practice on round rails. I kind of suck at round flat bars, but the square ones for sure.
Zach, you like round ones more?
Absolutely.
And that's the same thing on a skateboard.
I mean, you can lock into them.
I'm not a big locking guy.
Yeah, I can at least see that.
I'm also speaking from a place from skateboarding because, like, dude, I fucking hate square rails in skateboarding. They don't lock as well for Feebles or Smiths or anything. So
I think the correct answer is neither. Just don't skate rails. But
imagine like you have the flat surface of the rail and the flat base of the snow skate, like they match. They were like, you know?
But then if your weight's not directly on top of it, you're gonna slide to one side or the other. I mean, look at Dave. Dave does not 50 these huge rails because he's lucky and he's in the middle of a flat bar. It's because they're round and he locks.
Yeah, but when you put the
cruises.
round rail, I mean, for me, like this goes it's great. Like, how can you lock on the round?
Well, that's a whole nother. Yeah, that's a whole nother discussion. How is Dave so fucking directly locking into these rails? He's insane. But
I'm not a big rail guy, so I'm choosing the square one.
But you can. I've seen you board slide some big stuff, Phil.
I mean, board slide, whatever. If you board slide, whatever the rail, like.
Yep.
I'm not advocating 50s by any means. I'm fucking terrified of them, but I do them from time to time, and I like the round rail.
Now that I have a round rail at home, I'm just gonna try to practice some 50-50s and see how that works. I learned it on a skateboard a few years ago on flat bars. Like, I was always super scared of 50-50ing like round rails because I had square rails all my childhood. So that's what I was going to do. I was doing, but I finally learned it and it was so easy. it takes some balls to hop on it. I mean, for
I'm
me.
also probably biased because I grew up with the round rail, so that also probably has something to do with it.
Of course.
Rail skating, man.
But when you lock into a 50 on a snow skate, how fucking good does that feel? You're like, it worked, and it feels amazing.
That's true. Yeah. And the only experience I have with that is skating the flat bar at Smashical Retreat, which I think is a square rail, actually. But
no,
that's it.
No, he has one round one there. Wait,
does he really? I'm thinking like the red flat one or whatever. I think it's square.
The one that's on the beginner side of the park.
Yeah.
That's round, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a
I think it's round
one there.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'm tripping. I don't know. I have no idea. Anyway, let's move on. Gordo Head, has anyone done a switch tray on a snow skate?
Yeah.
Switch tray flip?
Ooh. Yeah.
Yep. Both Jess Nemi switch tray to 5-stair and Encore. Yeah, and it's like a Friends clip in Jeremy Manson's part, but also Taras Rybokin. I don't know, the dude who used to snow skate for Ambition, the Russian homie. He has a switch tray in his I want to say Safari Time part.
I did not remember that
the little
one.
3-stair. He was the first person I ever saw do it. So those are the two that come to mind. There's probably been others.
Yeah, thanks, Zach, because I would not have remembered those. I actually watched Jeremy's part the other day, and I saw that clip. Yeah, of Jess Nemi. Yeah.
God, shout out to Jess Nemi.
I have a sitting on my phone right now. I have a really nice switch tray flip he did.
To talk about Jess Nemi's sleeping situation during the team trip. I don't know if you guys talked about that during one of the podcasts, but
man,
we have to at least take a minute to explain this, man. I'll say it as much as I can remember, or as like I can remember how people told me. But during one of the team trip in Keizu, he was there, and people offered him like a mattress or blankets to sleep because everyone was like crowded in the basement and in the living room, and he did not want any of them. He was like, no, I'm good, I'm just gonna sleep on my back on the hardwood floor like this. And he said he actually sleeps like this at home, so he would just look like a dead corpse, and like he slept all night like this on the hardwood floor, like no pillow, no blanket, no anything. And that's what he wanted, like not because we didn't have any. And that's what I remember. I might be wrong, but is that correct?
No, that's 100% true. I remember we were the last ones to go to bed that night, me and Jess, and I've known him for quite some time, being from the same area. And I didn't know at first if it was like, oh, like you said, like it wasn't available, or like, oh, it's cool, don't worry about it, I'll just go to bed. But it was like, no, I don't want them. I was like, I have like extra blankets in my room, Jess. I have a pillow. Like, even if you're going to sleep on the floor, I have these things at least. And he's like, no, man. And he literally, went to bed just on the floor like a corpse.
And I think he said he sleeps like this at home. Is that? Do you think that's true?
I have heard it's good for your back. Like, I don't know if that's like true, but I have heard that.
I want to try it.
Yeah. I don't want to try it.
I mean, whenever I was on a team trip, I was bringing like these yoga mattresses to sleep on that they're like half an inch thick, maybe. And I would wake up like feeling super good in my back, and I was like, I need to sleep on this at home. Like, fuck the real bed, just sleep on these yoga mat every day. I haven't done it, but one day I'll do it. I'll just put a yoga mat right by my bed and sleep there.
Next time I see him, I'll ask him if he still does it. I usually see him maybe once a week or so. We'll snow skate, so I'll see if I can figure out what's going on with his sleep hygiene these days.
Sick. I love it. All right. Username Tanner. Does he like to ski? And this is a reference to that video that my buddy Tanner and I put up like probably over 10 years ago. Like referencing one. Yeah, the Wii skiing or whatever. Well, my buddy Tanner, shout out to him, but it doesn't even really snow skate. Just quoted you from, was it Aliens? Yeah, it was Aliens. You saying, hi, I'm Phil Moreau and I like to snow skate, but him just Wii skiing and saying, hi, I'm Phil Moreau and I like to ski.
That was such a trip, finding out this video online, not knowing you guys. I think we talked about it in the other podcast that I was in, but
yeah, we did.
Yeah, it was like such a trip. Like I was wondering, like, who are these kids? Like,
Because that was probably that was the
quoting
first
me?
video that you were in too, right? Aliens.
Yeah.
And then to
I
see
think I
that
had
come
a-
up after, like, I bet that was probably a little weird for you, which we didn't even think about at the time. Like,
I mean,
we were all
I was
starstruck by everything Ambition, you know,
I
at that
was
stage,
I was hyped, but I was like, no way, like kids like know about this and like quote it in their living room for fun. Like there's
Yep.
there's no way. And
Eric,
to
you know that's a
answer,
quote of a quote, though, right?
Yes, I
yeah,
do. I couldn't name it. I know it's from
Okay,
a
okay.
premiere
Like I used to
video,
say
but
that
yes.
quote
Yep.
growing up all the time too. So the
Oh,
fact
really?
that Phil
Yep.
said it as well, like, is no surprise. Oh, I used to say that all the time, just from that "Turn It Out" video.
well,
Yeah,
Premieres
the
Turn
one
It
that I
Out.
saw was Josh Chagin in I don't know which video, probably Ambition True Color or well, do you know what
Oh,
video
so it's
that?
like now
Josh-
it's like 3 quotes down the line.
Whoa, this
Yeah,
is a lot of
it was
layers.
probably before that. I don't know. Josh Chagin said it in a video. I guess it was in one of his like internet part back in the days. I'm not sure, but I did not know prior to that someone in a premiere video said it. I was just quoting Josh Chagin, and I thought he was a funny guy saying that, like, "Hey, I'm Josh
Yeah.
Chagin, and I like to snow skate." So I just said that,
This is some
quoting Josh.
Snowskate Inception type shit.
Yeah, I wonder who
Right.
the next guy will
It's-
be. Like, who's the next? I like to snow skate. Quoting me. Well, actually,
As far as I
Eric, you
know-
did it, but maybe someone would quote Eric, who quoted me, who quoted Josh, who quoted I don't know who else.
Well, they'd be
Colin
quoting
Sproul.
Tanner, not even me, but Colin Sproul, that's who it was. But
So was that you
Colin
or
Sproul is the
Tanner?
original. Unless I'm wrong, what if someone said it before Colin Sproul and we have no idea? Some kid before Colin and Turn It Out said it, and now someone hits us up. They're like, "Yeah, in the first premiere video, like Nico, I don't know who the fuck, any of those OG premiere dudes said it," and I'm like,
Oh
"Dude,
man, that goes a long way.
oh man. But yeah, Phil, that was
As
not
far
me
as
in the
I know,
video.
Colin
That was
Sproul was the
that was my
beginning,
buddy
but-
Tanner.
But did you upload it? Or
Yeah,
he
I
did?
uploaded it though. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because your name was on it. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so to answer his question, I don't ski. I do snowboard, but I used to ski when I was 5-year-old maybe, but I've been snowboarding since I was probably 8, so I don't do it anymore. That was the question, right? The
Oh,
original question
that's a beautiful
Like,
answer.
let's keep
from
going."
ages ago.
I think we need a break after this, guys. Let's let's take a breather and come back to these questions.
Dude, I'm trying to get my ender this maybe tomorrow, and I'm about to fucking drop that at the end of it.
Oh yes, please.
I'm about
What do
to
you
drop. My name is Voltron, and I like to
Oh,
snow
yeah.
skate.
Voltron for sure.
All right, we're back with listener questions after being derailed by Tanner Fritzinger asking about Phil Moreau's skiing habits. Garden Warrior, what elusive trick are you hoping to get, Phil?
Oh, elusive.
What is your most wanted trick?
Man. Well, there's one thing that I wanted to do for just for practicing because it'll be in my box at home. I wanted to make it an A-frame box and do a nose press, a nollie heel on the first one, and land it on the tail press on the second one, on the down part. But that's just me saying it. Like, I haven't built the box yet, so we're pretty far from it. But that would be the most wanted trick this season.
This could be Phil's biggest bunt too, depending on how it goes.
I know, dude.
No. I think you could handle that pretty well. I mean, you have nose press nollie heels down, so
I mean, I've done one
I
today.
feel like you could pull it
Yeah,
off.
I'm not doubting you, Phil. I'm just making a joke. I know you got that trick.
And if you don't land it now, we'll hold you to it forever.
Yeah, that could be the biggest bunt right now happening. I've called it to a bunch of friends that I wanted to do it, and
There's the bunt.
yeah, there it is. We have all the
That
elements
is
to
now,
be a
yeah.
bunt,
Now we're
so
getting to bunt territory.
I don't even have like the A-frame box yet, so and it's already like mid-February, and I called it like early season. So dang. I got one part done, the nose press nollie heel flip. I've done it today and a couple of days earlier.
Yeah, that
I've
was
done
sick.
it twice so far, so got this part done. I just need to build another box and put them in the A-frame, like put them in an A-frame and do it.
Yeah, love to see
Easy
it,
as
Phil.
that. Just
Hey, since this
do it.
podcast is just one big derailment anyways, let me ask you something, Phil. How the fuck do you nose press? I've been snow skating for so long, and I'm so fucking bad at nose presses. It's like how does your foot just not go off the end of the nose? I can do them. Don't get me wrong. Technically, I can land them. But do you have any little trick tip for me? I find that trick so hard. Dan was saying how much he hated that trick recently, too.
I've only done
it's
it
really
on-
hard. I can nose manual every try.
I've only done it on small things like lately, like 6 or 8 inches high obstacles, and the way I put my feet is my front foot is closer to the nose than a regular ollie. So it's like a really small ollie, you know, like I don't really like
Sure.
ollie high and then land on it. It's kind of like a little bit like a slappy thing, and where I don't really ollie high. I just one
Okay.
thing too is this cat is still biting my ouch, friggin' cat biting my fingers when I'm trying to explain this. Go away, guys. I'm struggling right now. All right, sorry for that little thing there. I was saying that. Dang, what was I saying? Freaking cat.
You're saying putting your foot up
press.
higher, towards the nose, which is funny because I do the opposite. I have to put my foot farther back because the moment I slide it up, if it's too close to the nose, it goes off the end of it.
I don't know.
Also, I suck at that trick, so what the hell do I know?
I have really grippy shoes, and I really put my weight forward. You know, trying to as much like most of my nose press like goes down, and then the tail taps the box or the ledge. So I'm trying to really land like my weight forward, and that's one thing. But I don't know. Some like one tries out of a few, my foot will miss it and do like you said. But I don't know. I'll do a small ollie and land on it. Maybe try to not like do.
Sometimes I run in.
Like you could ollie on the box easily without having your foot sliding off, right? So maybe try to not.
If it's small enough,
different.
If I have to ollie high into it, I can't.
I haven't done it on a high ledge recently, so I can't remember what trick would be. I'm sorry, Zach.
Or I'll get like the springboard effect where I'll ollie into it, but like your back foot isn't still on the board, so it's like here's your back foot, here's the board. It's like doing one of these.
I
like
hate
you land
that
in it, it goes like
does that.
and then like comes back up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, my tail presses are like
I
that.
always do that. Really? My tail press is not too hard. I don't know. I hate presses. Can we keep going? Actually, I don't know. I hate presses. Never doing them again. I was hoping maybe you'd give me like some secret code that was like that's why I'm doing them wrong. But
I don't know. I've been
so many years, and I don't know.
I've been struggling. Like, listen to this. I've had this little, probably 6 inches high box at home that I've been riding a few times lately, and the other day I tried nose press, and it took me like a long time to get the nose presses back because I hadn't done it in a while. Like, I don't know, like at least 10 tries or like 12 tries to just get a clean nose press that I liked. And then I tried a nose press nollie heel, and I landed, I think, first try after that, or like second try. So it was just like me doing it over and over, and then it just went easier, the nose press. And then today I tried to film that nose press nollie heel. I think, Zach, you've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
And it took me like 30 tries. Like the other day I got it like in 1 or 2 tries. So I figured I could do it and film it today for the Instagram, and it took me like half an hour.
That's amazing. I wish I could do that with my lifetime. So
Same.
I couldn't.
All right, moving on.
Next derailment. Right. Yeah, keep going.
Yes, next derailment. Damien LaFrance, what is your favorite trick and what is your favorite snowskate clip ever?
Oh, I think we're going into the not so rapid, not so fire question.
We're getting close.
A little bit of overlap
I've
here.
I've seen these on the list, but I guess I'll just answer it right here.
Yeah.
Favorite trick, kickflip.
Sure.
If I had to select one, that would be kickflip. It just feels so good. And And other than that, just a good old board slide or a nollie heel are my favorite tricks to do. And what was his other question?
Favorite snow skate clip you've ever gotten?
That would be the backside flip that I've done.
Just stole 2 bunt questions.
Yeah, come on. I mean, whatever.
We just stole our 2 questions from the Not So App. Sorry.
It doesn't really matter. Yeah, backside flip that I've done at the end of my Sava part. It was at a Sherbrooke drop, like, you know, the favorite spot. Yeah. My favorite spot.
Great backside flip.
So I think I posted it on the Instagram this season, not so long ago, actually saying, like, this is probably one of my favorite flips that I've got. So, yeah, I'll go with this one.
Yeah, it's a great trick. Kyle Kearns from Florida. When are you back tail sliding a handrail, Phil?
When am I doing this?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Does he know something we don't?
How many years of snow skating do I still have? I'll have to plan that out because it's not happening this season for sure. First, we'll have to make back tail slide possible on the handrails. I mean, who knows what's possible, you know? 10 years ago, we would not think people would nose press a handrail or shove it nose press a handrail. Mm-hmm. So according to that, how many years did it take to, like, well, Phil Smaggy front blunt did front blunt on a handrail.
That's what I was going to say. That's something kind of unseen and unknown.
Mm-hmm. Maybe we could do the math and, like, see how fast it progressed, and I'll do it in probably like 25 years, Kyle, to answer your question. Something like between 20, 30 years from now, maybe.
Captain Phil. Oh shit, I can ask myself questions now. Okay then. How's the podcast going so far? You blowing it?
I don't know, Phil. I think you're doing okay right now. Are we blowing it, guys? Okay, Are we doing good? I think we're derailing a little bit, like you guys said, but
it's par for the course. Bad golf pun intended. You know, it's what we do.
Maybe I don't know. We can give ourselves like B+, B, maybe B- for Zach because his internet is really slow right now.
Yeah, we'll give Zach a lower grade for factors outside of his control.
Yeah, I don't think we're blowing it, right?
That's fair.
We're not blowing it.
I'm fucking blowing it.
Yeah, just that. I mean,
my derailments take like 10 seconds longer than everyone else's.
I think it depends on the listener.
You know, you're right there, Zach. You're in the middle of it.
The Jensens and the Blaze that want the 4-hour podcast, like, they're loving it. But the people that want the hour-and-a-half Danny B podcast, maybe they're not as hyped. So
I'm sorry, I'm blowing it.
Yeah, whatever. They'll be fine.
I knew this one was gonna take forever. Like,
if you're listening to this podcast, you're deep into snow skating, and hopefully you're okay with.
I know this snow skating
3 hours.
I brought 3 beverage. How do you guys say this? I'm blowing it. That's it. I'm blowing it. That's we're answering the question. I'm blowing it. So I've got 3.
I was getting drunk.
Beverage long. You know, this is 3 beers long. This podcast is.
Oh, I love it. PLO Steez. Is there any difference between the older model's base and the newer one and next year's model? I don't think so.
It's not PLOCs. I know these guys actually. This guy is from like South Shore of Montreal.
Okay.
He's an actually really good snow skater. You should
he rips.
Check him out. Back in the days, I was like younger, 15-year-old Phil would go to skate contests somewhere in Quebec, and this guy was a little older than me and killing it. I was looking up to this guy. He's sick. So, what was his question again?
Bases, are they any different?
Sorry, I'm blowing it. Yeah, the base has been the same since they were like translucid or transparent. Since there's like graphic underneath, it's the same material then. Since these days, before that, when it was just plain color, it was a different plastic. I think the new one is a little faster and like more solid, more durable.
Yeah. Okay. So the first year we had graphics was what, 2016, 17. So it's probably been the same since then. Hey.
Yeah, it is the same since then, and next year it will be the same. I think we have a good recipe. Like the boards are great, and I think it's the best we can do for like an affordable priced board.
Mm-hmm. Archie skate clips. Any tips for finding urban spots?
Urban spots?
Yeah.
I'm more like a rural spots. Like I live in a small town, but urban spots. Any tips? Just drive around. Like
Sure.
whenever, like keep an eye open when you drive around. I don't have a big spot book that I keep. Like just whenever I find something driving around for anything else, I just take a photo and keep it on my phone.
Yeah.
But keep in mind that some things that you see in the summer are not always possible on a skateboard, but on a snow skate is sometimes really like it opens so many doors, so much more spots. And one thing that I try to do is sometimes like you're like you don't want to skate a spot because there is like a kink at the end of a rail, like or whatever, like a stairs that is in the way or a sidewalk or anything that might stop you to ride it. Try to like use it at your advantage and like ride the spot the way it is. Don't try to fight or like I don't know. I just try to. I don't have any example right now, but if there's something in the way of your landing, just land your trick and bonk that thing. Just ride it the way it is. That's one tip. One tip I could give.
Yeah, that's good advice.
I don't know.
I'd like to add to that. What I've also noticed in terms of like urban spots or more city-like areas they're not as conducive to snow skating. Like let's say you go to a big city and you're like, whoa, spot. You see them everywhere. I'm sure you guys can relate like in the heart of Minneapolis. But in the dead of winter, these spots don't really translate as well because they're so well maintained. They're shoveled off.
Salty.
They're salted. Where almost when you come to like a town like let's say Duluth or Marquette or something, they're like kind of this middle ground between not a city by any means, but they're not also like out in the country, but they kind of leave their spots more untouched or they're not so maintained so you're able to snow skate them. Like when I moved downstate, I thought it was going to be a snow skate frenzy, and then you realize half the spots you're excited about aren't really possible. So, you got to think about that kind of stuff.
True. Like mostly city parks, like wherever there are parks that, like parks in the cities, that's where it's not salted. People don't go like step on spots that much. Like sometimes you'll find just a stair set in the middle of like a wooden forest, like a park, that it's not salted. And these are like really good for spots for us, at least.
Yeah, I'll add on to that for a couple different points. Watching skateboarding and snowboarding videos that are based in your area. A lot of those spots won't translate, but you'll get an idea of some spots that are possible on a snow skate. Of course, if you see people snow skating in your area and you can just go to their spots too, all the better. But really anything with elevation too. And one of my tricks in my little toolkit, if you will, is to throw I think I mentioned this on a previous podcast too, but put the terrain feature on Google Maps and look around at like city parks and like college campuses and really anywhere where stuff is built, but it's like not really a corporation where you're necessarily going to get kicked out. But usually if there's some sort of elevation around, it's probably going to be conducive to snow skating, and at least worth checking out even on like Google Street View or something. And, but yeah, like to a previous point, just go and drive around like Zach. I know you do in the summer, looking for spots. You're a lot more dedicated than I am doing that. But yeah, that's a great way. Just try to find spots that could be conducive to snow skating and go and check them out.
Yeah, one other thing too that I might say is try to time the way that like the day you go at the spot with the conditions. Like I remember there's that rail near Sherbrooke that it's at a school, and we know that later in the season, like it snows so much and kids like step on it and the run up or landing will be all bumpy. But if you go there like early season in the first snow, it'll be just like a straight run up. So sometimes you can like think that this spot will be good if there is like so much deep snow in the landing, and then you can go later in the season or after a snowstorm, or some other spots that are like more, like a stair set or like more a street skate spot would be better if it's just a thin layer of snow on the run up and landing. So you can think of when you're going to the spot, like within the beginning of the end of the season, or during the week, like after a snowfall, before, or timing is a little important too.
Yeah, super important.
I do a lot of that. Like this whole year I've been planning out like, we have a little bit of snow right now, hit all the street spots. And then when we get a little bit more snow, hit some of those other ones that require more snow. So you're right. It just takes so much planning and timing.
Yeah. So hopefully that helps. Jeremy Manson, what is it like to be the raddest dad, Phil?
I mean, I'm always in contests like against Jeremy Manson, like he's up there. I'm trying to be as rad, as cool as he is. It's hard. so much pressure, Germs. Well,
2 rad dads.
Yeah, shout out to Germs. I talked on the phone to Germs yesterday or 2 days ago. Germs. Actually, he wanted to shout out. Here it is, Germs. There you go. And also to all the rad dads that snow skate in this world. Like, it's hard to find time to just go out and be rad. So shout out to all the dads out there that snow skates. Germs and I are I don't know why, like when it started, but we wanted to just had a little chat, and he called me one night and we were like, hey, let's do it again. Like, so we had another video chat the next week, having a beer on like a Zoom meeting like this. So we're trying to keep up every week, having our rad dad meeting. Sick. Having a beer. So it's been like 3 or 4 weeks so far. And every rad dad in the area, in the internet that wants to join us, like, you're welcome. Come in.
I have to go have a kid just so I can hang out with my friends.
Yeah. We're just talking dad stuff,
Just about grills and New Balances.
I need to set that up with Germ, but just like a rad golf Zoom meeting or something. We can just talk golf tech.
All right, next question.
Yeah, no more golfing allowed in this podcast.
I know Zach is always going to try to shut that down. Phil, you again. Shout out to Whitehorse Yukon. Why?
Because I've seen so many snow skates shipped to Whitehorse Yukon this season. I don't know what happened there, but I know that there's a crew of snow skater that snow skates there, like Patty Robinson.
Yeah, Patty Robinson. He rips.
And that other guy, Kerry. I don't know everyone, but I know that I've shipped almost every day there was a board shipped to Whitehorse. It must have been like this city that I've shipped the most boards this season.
Wow.
So shout out to everyone in Whitehorse snow skating.
Sick. Hell yeah.
Thanks for supporting Ambition.
Tight. Another question from you, Phil. This is already answered. But, question to discuss with you boys. Should Ambition host a forum on the website again?
Oh,
as of today, the forums are live.
Yeah, it is live, right? Alex told me he wanted to put it on today. So is it on? Is it on?
They are live. Right, yep, it is posted on the Instagram story. Shout out to us on this podcast. I think we strong-armed the Ambition forums back into existence. So they're out there and they're live. They're there.
That's good, because we're going to be the only ones that use it.
I don't know how much kids will
I hope that's not true, but
right now it is.
I mean, it's a good thing. It's a good way to discuss things that like Instagram or Facebook are not really the best things for. Like, you can ask a question, whatever it is, and it'll stay there on the forum. Like, someone 4 years from now will be able to see the same answer you got from your question.
For sure.
Whatever it is.
And you know what? You can
What?
start strong arming people into using it too, Eric. Every time someone asks a question, you don't answer it anymore on Instagram. You just send them a link and then you make them use that forum. And then eventually we build a community because we're not answering questions easily anymore. You got to go into the forum.
Oh man,
You got to join our community.
you got to take
be,
the hard
You got to be
way.
jumped in.
Just
I don't know
take
about
your
that
laptop
approach,
and
but-
type in whatever the link
for it.
Hopefully,
is.
we do see good
No more answering
adoption,
questions.
though. Yeah, hopefully that does end up being a good community because I am really excited about that. That could be cool.
Yeah, and
miss
I
it.
don't know. I'm not a big forum user. I've used it a little bit in my early days, and I don't know how much I'll use it. It's people don't go to like their computer that much these days. They only like use their
Disagree.
phone. Alex told, yeah, I mean, some of us do. Like I do. I'm on my computer all day long, but most of my friends don't even own a computer. It's just phones.
Oh, really?
Alex
That's
told me
true.
the new forum will be
Yeah.
like phone friendly. I don't know how much it will be.
It has to be.
I'm
Yeah.
hoping so.
Yeah, I've used it on mobile already, and yeah, it's pretty
Mhm.
slick.
Yeah.
All right, that's just me being like an old guy, not really.
It's a
Used
valid
to
concern, though.
the
I mean,
phone.
yeah,
Oh,
mobile
100%.
usage is it's huge.
That's so funny because today I got like a notification on my phone for an email that was concerning like someone responded to you on the forum, and I was like, whoa,
What?
I never had a phone when the forums existed. This is a whole new concern. So for us talking about it right now, it's kind of crazy. And when you say you used it, Eric, you didn't have to download an app, did you? Did you just use like a browser or?
Yeah, I
Okay.
just have the Chrome browser on my iPhone or whatever, and just went to
Okay.
I have it synced with my Google Chrome account or whatever, so it signed me in right
Sure.
away. Just forum.ambitionsnowskates.com, and yeah, it was all there,
Okay.
super easy to
Maybe I'll
navigate. No problem.
bookmark it.
Yeah, that's one thing that was missing in the snowskate world these days. Like the Ambition Army, it's good for snowskate clips, but it's not like answering any like all the questions and everything
Mhm.
like the forum used to do.
For sure. And I will give a shout out to whoever set up that Snowskate Discord, at least for the attempt. I not necessarily buying, and no discrediting the person that set it up, but I'm not buying that it's the correct demographic or platform to necessarily succeed for a snowskate community, but I do applaud the attempt, and I do see some conversation going on there. So the attempt
Really?
to build the snowskate community and have those discussions in that place is a cool thing, and I certainly applaud that.
Shout out.
Definitely.
Hell yeah. Good
Definitely.
intentions.
For sure. Jensen again, worst diaper changing moment.
Worst diaper changing. I mean, a few times, like when she was really, really young, she would just pee like anytime I was changing the diaper, and pee would just. You think if she's like, she's a girl, like the pee
I
would
already
not
know
go
where you're
all over,
going.
but
Yeah.
it goes all over on the wall and everything. So I remember a few times when pee was just flying in the air on the wall. Other than that, it's just these big coops that are like more liquid than others, and just it's hard to explain in English, but just go through any holes and exit the diaper can have. Like sometimes the baby would not poop for a day, and then the next day everything comes out. Like, oh man, that's the worst.
Does not sound fun to deal
There's going to
with.
be a lot more
Yeah.
soon, right, Phil?
Yeah, we're having a second girl next summer. So
Yeah.
Congrats, Phil.
more
Congrats.
diapers to come. I'm really hyped.
Wait, was I allowed to say that? Sorry, I don't know.
Oh yeah,
You're being public about that. Okay.
yeah, for sure.
Tingwick, Quebec is going to be all Moreaus in a matter of time.
Yeah, expanding the Moreau all over the place. Watch
It's going
out,
to be all Moreaus
Midwest,
and
we're
all
coming.
maple
We're coming
syrup
soon.
Yeah. Your girls and Jeremy's girls will be looking up to like Nessa and Cece and some of those other awesome female snow skaters. Hopefully,
Yeah,
For
for sure. My daughter is actually a fan of Gaspacho, the last Ambition video. I just call him Le Soup because that's how she says it. Because we cook soup in the beginning of the video, and she asked me yesterday, like, "Hey, Le Soup." So I just put her on my lap, and whenever like she comes by and wants to watch Gaspacho, we just I take a 5-minute break from work and we just watch the video, and she's hyped and she's in love with Dan. I don't know why, like, what's the reason? But at first, like, whenever
Gucci.
Dan would come up, she would ask, like, who, like, who's this? And I was like, hey, it's Dan. And then, like, saying every name, like, this is Zach, this is Dan. And then she just yells Dan whenever Dan's coming, like, Dan, Dan, yeah. And she's hyped on Dan every time, still today.
That's so
that's
sick.
That's me too. Dan.
Like, yeah, Dan. Like, obviously, he's the best, Dan. I understand, but she already has a favorite snow skater, and it's Dan. For sure. Like,
That's
a good choice. A good choice.
all the way.
Oh, I love it. Stinky Stain. What's your advice on handrails? Get on top or try to like side pinch for both square and round rails?
Yeah, we talked about that the other day, and I don't think I'm the best person to answer this question because I don't do a lot of handrails. And sometimes I go slow, so I do when I go slow and the rail is higher, I do the pinch thing. But whenever you can, go fast and hop on it.
Yep.
But I'm not good at it, you know. So
to quote Alan Gerlach from 2011, faster
What
is
did he
always
say?
better.
Faster is always
Yep.
better, yeah, for
Yep.
sure. But
For style and also for safety when skating
But
rails.
for me, whenever I go faster, I don't have as much confidence on my pop. Like, the faster I go, like, I go slow on most of my tricks. I'm not a fast guy, but whenever I go fast, I feel like I'm not, like, everything's harder the faster I go. So go at a speed that you're comfortable doing the ollie, but of course you need to go at a certain speed to hop on handrails. Like, don't go super slow. It doesn't work at all. I would go fast, but not too fast that you can't, like, have a good ollie. Go at a speed that you're sure that you'll get the ollie anytime.
Sure. Zach, you skate rails. What's your opinion on this?
I think Phil hit it on the head.
Okay.
Really, if it's taller, you can get away with a little rocking on, but if you're able to fully get on it flat, please do.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and I don't know. What I do is, because I'm scared of skating rails, I just go as fast as I can. So if I just mess up, I can just like jump to the bottom. And I'm also not skating rails that are bigger than, 8 or 9 stairs or whatever. So you can't go that fast and then jump to the bottom. That doesn't apply to anything bigger than that.
But I remember Dave, like, telling me, like, he was not scared of skating handrails because I was asking him, like, not the same question, but like how could he not be scared of, like, jumping, like, backflipping handrails and stuff? And he said, like, he always went at the speed that when he falls down the stairs, not on the handrail. So he's not sacking it. I guess it does not apply to every rails right now, but I had a little discussion with him, like, many years ago, and that's what he told me. Just go as fast as when you fall down the stairs, like you said, Zach, so you don't sack the rail.
Interesting.
You can
I
listen
feel like
to
sometimes.
Dave
Go ahead, Andrew.
episode too. I'm just going to plug the other episode with Dave because he talks a lot about it, and I think that's
Definitely.
He's got a really good philosophy when it comes to approaching handrails, and I think that's a really good. Like, talking about how he approaches handrails made me be like, oh yeah, I could skate handrails. That's great.
Yeah, if you're going to listen to anyone, Dave's probably, he's got the right advice.
Yeah, disregard everything I said in the last couple minutes. Go listen to Dave's podcast. God.
And I don't have any different tip from round rail or square rails. For me, they're the same. Like, if they're square, it'll be easier for me. And if they're round, they'll just be a little harder to balance. And yeah, I don't have any difference between one or the other.
See, I think if the rail's round and it's a taller one, it's easier to almost rock on because it's rounded. If it's square, it's like ka. But if it's rounded, you can kind of roll up onto it a little easier if it's a taller one, Dave style rail.
Kind of one like you did in the end of your encore part, Zach. Like, it looked like really high, and you like hop on.
I had to.
It looked like the right way to do it.
Yeah. Alex pretty much was like, dude, you can do this fucking rail. Do it. And I was like, because it was like almost waist high. And I was like, I know I'm capable, but fuck, I'm afraid. This is like a Dave handrail or a Dave height rail.
Yeah,
The
one
big boy
thing with
rail.
snow skating, you don't have that front truck to go
don't.
over it. So
Yeah, so you can
it's
roll
a
up to it.
little less scarier, I guess. I mean, I'm scared of handrails too, so I don't do like
Same.
that many. But
Oh, I'm terrified of them. But I feel good after I do them, so I can make myself.
I feel good, so I do them anyway.
It just feels good after you don't die.
All right, let's get into the not so rapid fire question list, but let's take a break first.
Sure.
All right, we're back with the not so rapid fire or not so fire rapid question list. Phil, snow skate setup, board, grip setup, shoes, outerwear. Break down everything for us.
All right. Everything. Shoes. I wear the same as Andrew, I think. It's the Etnies Jameson winterized version. They have the outsole that is kind of grippy, like the reverse one. And I don't think they're waterproof. They're leather. I don't think they're marketed as a waterproof shoe.
Mm.
But
They're not-
yeah, I wear them. They were pretty stiff at first, but after we're like wearing them a few weeks, they got better.
And we were talking about this on Instagram for a little bit, and you were talking about how good the shoes were, and I almost bought a pair. You were a very good salesman, Phil. Like they looked like really good shoes.
I mean,
but
to me, they work really good. Like everyone has his preferences, but it has pretty much everything I needed on this shoe. I was not convinced on the grippy reverse outsole at first, but I've snow skated so many days that the conditions were bad and like warm and slushy lately.
Yeah.
So now I'm just really hyped on the extra grip, and I'd rather have a better grip than a slushy, packy snow without grip, you know?
And I'm with you 100%, which is why I wanted to go to those shoes from the MTE. But are you okay with snow skating in a mid versus a high for the lack of ankle support and also the amount of snow that gets in your ankles as a result of skating a mid? Is that a problem for you?
I have never tried the MTE, so I can't compare.
Sure.
I've only skated mid-top skate shoes before that, or like regular skate shoes. So that is kind of like an improvement in terms of like waterproof and warmth, because they're a little warmer than skate shoes. So I can't compare it with the high tops and
Sure.
But for sure, my feet get all wet after a session. Like I feel like they stay dry a little longer with them than regular skate shoes, and that's a little plus. But obviously, there's no like perfect skate shoes at the moment.
Right. And does snow get in the top of the shoe for you? Like, do you get that layer of packed snow around your ankles with the mids, or does that not really happen?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, that's good.
Around the
Good to know.
ankles?
Yeah.
No.
Does snow get in the shoe from the top?
I mean, it get in the shoe. Yeah, I thought you said it would stay around the ankle.
So it kind of does that for me with the MTEs sometimes,
Okay.
not that often.
I mean,
but
if
snow does get in the top.
If I walk in deep snow, for sure it'd get in. But
Okay.
they're mid-top, so they're a little better than regular skate shoes. But
Okay.
For me, it's just under the tongue, of the shoe, the top part.
Okay.
I try to tie them kind of how would you say it? Tie them up a lot.
Tighter. Yeah.
Yeah. So snow doesn't get in.
Sure.
I mean, they're
Okay.
good shoes. So that is the shoe thing, the shoe situation, and I always take the insoles off and put some either Dr. Scholl's insoles. I remember in one of the podcasts you said I swear by them.
Yeah, and you were the one who told me
Yeah.
about these insoles, Phil.
I've used them for years, and now since this season, this summer skateboarding, I tried the footprint insole,
Yeah.
and I'm skating these right now this season. I
Okay,
feel like
they're
they
better?
don't have as much as impact absorption but they kind of mold your feet better. They have a better arch support.
I have a question about that, Phil. With those footprint insoles, do you ever have an issue with them becoming really hard? Because I used to try, I'd skate them in the summer as well, and then I try to snow skate them in the winter, and they would almost become like rock hard because of how cold it was. And I started getting heel bruises because of them, so I had to stop skating them.
They're hard, like if I leave my shoes in the car and like they're super cold, but if I wear them and go out, I feel like they stay warm enough and they stay soft. But yeah, I know what you mean.
Okay.
Like when I, I go out and snow skate, and after the session, if I switch my shoes and use the boots back and put the shoes in the car, so they stay like in the cold for a bit, and whenever I bring them inside, I can't even put the insoles out of the shoe because it's like a frozen block of like sweat.
That's why. Yeah.
Like
that used to kill me. Sweat. I had to stop skating them in the winter.
Yeah, and I also put a little cushion underneath that came with it because I have a heel bruise that will never like go away. So I need more like impact absorption than just that insole. So I put something underneath.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah. So for the boards, you guys, I think Zach and Eric talk about your board situation in a previous episode, and that would just, you kind of like explained everything. It's the same for me. Like I have a bigger board with Tundra grip that I use for like bigger drops or like rails and stuff. I have a smaller board, like a day one, that I use for flip trick, and an older board that is messed up. I always have like 3 or 4 boards in the trunk that I use whatever the spot is. But this season I've had one big board with regular X grip and my older big board from last year with Tundra grip. And I've been switching. I'm never really sure if I should like go with the Tundra or the regular X grip, and going back and forth. Board, that's pretty much it. And also I use the double concave. You guys talk about this too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, interesting. Do you like it?
Josh doing that, and I got hooked. Like I really love the feel that it gives. I feel like, especially with the bigger board, since it's pretty wide, it's the same concave on the bigger and the smaller boards. It's the same pieces, and I feel like it's not as much concave when it's on the bigger board. It feels more flat. So I use the double concave, and I feel like it just, I have a better board feel, like where the board is with my feet. I like catching flips with this better. It's probably just in my head, but I really love the feel of it.
It'd be nice if there was like a 1.5 times the concave.
I agree.
Like standing on Josh's seemed like a little bit too much. I don't know if I'd want to skate that. And to be fair, I haven't actually skated it on snow, but a 1.5 times the concave on the bigger board, I could see that being very, very interesting.
Yeah, I think it will come in the future. Like we've talked about it. The only thing, like why we don't sell the double concave, because I think Josh and I really love it and would like to have it on their boards, but it's because it's higher. Whenever you land primo, it's easier to take the grip off. So if we would sell these, like whenever like a kid would do a trick and land primo, his grip would fall apart, and we would have to replace so many boards. So it's not as solid as one concave.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we don't sell them like this. But since Josh showed me what he was doing with his board, I'm hooked. I've just been riding this, and that's pretty much it for the setup. I switch boards, whatever the trick is. If I feel like this spot is more like deeper snow and I'm going faster, I'll get the bigger board. If I need a higher ollie and more control or a flip trick, I'll use the smaller board. Sometimes between the sesh, I'll try the small board and it doesn't work. I'll try with the bigger board and it gets better.
Mm-hmm.
Going back and forth, whatever feels right at the moment.
Sure. Interesting that you don't use the mid-size though. You have the smallest board and then the biggest board, but nothing in between.
I have it. I had one Jensen's board filming for the Sugar Shack part,
Okay.
and I really loved it. And it's just that I already have a big and a small board. Like I don't need 3 boards during the season. I don't snow skate that much to go through 3 boards usually. But that would be my third board. I still have one that I keep in the trunk sometimes, and I just keep it for most of the time my friends, like if someone needs a board, and I have a Jensen's board in my car too.
Sure.
I haven't been using it that much lately.
Okay. Fair enough, Phil. Favorite snow skater?
Josh Oakes.
What?
Sure.
I thought it was Maxime.
Max O'Baya? Or
What?
Max BT? Which Max?
Max BT.
Oh, that goes for the next question.
The skater, snow
My
skater that
bad.
had the biggest influence on how you skate. Zach, you're jumping questions, man.
My
Yeah.
bad. I always thought he was your favorite.
Dang, we're blowing it, guys.
I'm blowing it.
Yeah, most influence is Max BT and Nick Stefani too. Both these
Yeah.
guys. Like Max was in the early days before Ambition, watching the Quebecers video. He just landed everything so smooth and it looks so easy. I don't know if you guys can recall his video parts. It's just to this day, like when I watched this, it's just he was wearing the super high big boots, doing like huge ollie off rooftops and like landing like nothing happened. So
Yeah, he was extra clean for those premiere days. Just really solid. I don't want to say simple tricks, but like
yeah, simple.
good-
Like
they
good
kind of were
looking and
simple, but he
simple
made them
tricks.
look good. Just like great keel flip, great kick flip, very solid snow skating at the time.
Yeah,
With
Max
long rideaways,
BT.
which was hard on the premiere. I love
Shout out
BT's.
Max, and he actually I don't know if you guys knew. I told Zach about it. He was one of the listener questions in one of your earlier podcasts.
Yeah,
Was he
that made me
really?
happy.
His name on
I missed
Instagram is
that.
Brewmaster Visual Decay. And
Okay, that's why
I
didn't
can't
catch it,
remember
but-
what the question was, but I remember listening to it and being hyped because Max BT was like asking questions.
It's cool when I hear like some of those legends or OG snow skaters will listen to it. Like recently, Jordan Armstrong hit us up regarding Matt Plays' episode, and I was like, "Oh man, that's so cool." He listens. Like, that's someone I watched my whole life.
Yeah, and
Same
Nick
with
Stefani.
Maxime.
Hopefully, you can like have him on the podcast.
You
one
said
day,
no.
because he was, I don't know, just doing so much of unique, creative stuff that looks so fun, and just the presses that he was kind of ahead of his time with the nose presses and everything.
Oh
I
yeah,
just love
he had some crazy press combos.
Yeah,
But I think Eric and Andrew had asked him already, and he said no.
yeah.
Unfortunately.
I think we asked him in proxy, like I think Matt Plays hit him up and asked like for us, and I think the answer was no as a result. One
Dang.
of the only,
Okay.
I think we had 2 no's so far, and he was one of them. I will
Some
not
people
disclose
are
the other
too
no.
like too mysterious, too like Robbie Gobey. I think you guys asked him and
He was the other no, yeah.
he didn't show really like that much interest in it. Like,
And that's fair. I mean, some
the
people
best
don't like to
guys, like-
talk on an open platform. I get it.
Yeah.
they're
Yeah, I'm not
Fine.
holding it against
That's
anyone
fine.
by any means, to be
Mm,
totally
of course.
clear. But
kind of like I'm talking like Peter Chart on the skate, like on the skate scene. Like he's the
Yeah.
ghost, you know, so cool. Like no one knows what he's doing. Like everyone
Mhm.
likes him. I guess they were like the
Exactly.
Peter Chart of snow skating.
mhm. And just shout out to Roby Gobel too. I mean, I have so many favorite parts about the Sava trip that I went on in KZoo, but watching you, Phil, and Roby interact was like one of my favorite things. Like
Man.
just watching your guys' banter, especially in English, like both of you guys communicating in your second language back and forth it was the best, man. It was so entertaining. Just
Yeah.
you walking around like the apartment, like looking for him or just like getting his attention. I just remember you like walking from room to room, like Roby.
Man, I love this guy.
It was so much fun.
He's a
man.
legend.
I remember
he
like
really is. He's the sickest.
like back in the days when I first met him, like we started hanging out together, and I don't know. He's just this goofy dude who's always like laughing and looking at you with a weird like smile. Like, so you never know if he's like serious or not. So I told him like, I never know if you're serious or not with me. And he replied the same thing like, I never know if you are serious with me or not. Like, what? So we're always like, yeah, what? I don't know. Yeah, like, is he joking? He's not. Like, I can never tell.
I love it. All right. Most talented snow skater on earth.
Josh Oakes.
Yep.
For sure.
Great answer.
Favorite snow skater, favorite style.
Mm-hmm. Favorite video/favorite video part.
Favorite parts would be any Nick Stefani parts and Max Beatty part. Favorite video is too hard to answer. There are too many. Can I go with the premiere, the next step, because it's the first one that I've really seen over and over. Encore is pretty good. It's the last one that we've done. I don't know, man. I can't pick one.
It's hard to give one answer.
Let's say you're about to get hyped up for the day. Like you're about to go snow skating, and maybe you want to put on a video that'll hype you up. What comes to mind? Don't think about it. Just
that's
answer.
the thing. It's never the same. I tried to select one, but I figured that I don't have like that one video these days, except Gaspacho. This season, it's the video that I've seen like 100 times.
That was a fun one. It was very natural how it came about, very organic.
And what's cool about it, it was only filmed during a week or two.
Like 5 days, not even, probably 4 or 5.
So that's pretty sick. Encore is pretty sick. Sava is pretty sick. Let's Play could be the one because it has such that party vibe with Josh Siggy dancing and everything. Like, it's hard to pick one, but that could be the one favorite video.
That one felt pretty organic as well, coming together. It wasn't as serious as Sava, It was like the predecessor to it. It was very like our first mode. Yeah, it was like our first team trip where it's like, whoa, this is cool, and then seeing the result of it in that video form. Where Sava, I feel like maybe had a little bit more of a professional approach to it, or more emphasis on how we were going to do it. I like Let's Play. It's kind of forgotten.
Too hard to pick.
It's a great video. Yeah, that's fair, Phil. Favorite trick to do? We already did that one. Favorite trick you've ever gotten? Kind of already did that one as well.
We did it. The backside flip in Sava.
Least favorite trick you've ever gotten?
Oh,
is there anything you're bummed on?
Can we go back to that other question? Favorite trick?
Yeah. I
have a second one. I'd like to include in this answer the kickflip board slide in I think my Encore part.
Encore, yeah.
Yeah, it's a really, really small rail, so I don't have any it's a really small rail, but still, I don't really do a lot of handrails, and I was really hyped on that kickflip backboard.
I remember you hit me up, Phil. You're like, dude, like I got a handrail clip for my part, and I was like, holy shit, you flipped in.
I was hyped. It was not that like the landing was a little weird, but I'll take it anytime, and I was hyped on it.
Should be.
Hell yeah. Anything you're bummed on that was in a part, Phil?
I try to think of. I haven't watched like all my previous like before this podcast, but I remember one trick like that was in, I don't know which video, like Safari Time or Let's Play maybe back in the days. It's at the famous ledge spot in Sherbrooke, the one that me and Charlo used to ride. The trick itself is not that bad. I think it's a nose press like shove or big spin shove. Nose press shove. And the thing that I don't like about it is we had to shovel snow to the spot because it was like a winter where there was like really no snow at all. So we had to take snow from piles, and I really hate seeing videos with just a track of snow before and after the spot. It looks like it doesn't look natural to me. It looks like you're trying, not that you're trying too hard, but like you should have just skateboard the spot, not bring snow to snow skate it and make it like harder. So that's one clip that I think does not look that good.
I think that was in Safari Time. I remember that winter. It was like very, very scarce snow.
So that's the only one I could think of.
Gotcha. The last trick that you learned.
I've done a nose press back 180 out on my small box at home the other day.
Oh, okay.
I might have done it before, but I hadn't done it in many years, so I guess I relearned it. I'm not sure if I've done it before, but I've done that the other day, like a nose press back 180. And I also learned another trick this season was a half cab board slide big spin out on my flat bar.
Me too.
Okay.
So I
That's
think
a cool
I'm
trick.
saying it right, like going fakie, hopping in on like a regular board slide, and doing the shove it thing back to regular.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. It's a cool trick.
So yeah, I've learned that too recently. With the natural speed too. Shout out Eric for the pushing this side of snow skating.
Pushing fakie snow skating. Yeah.
Yeah, too.
I just love to see it, man. Love it.
What
Love
did you
to
do it on,
love to
Phil?
see it.
My flat bar that I have at home, the one that I used in all my older videos.
Yep. Oh, I
It's
know the
square.
one.
It's square for
I've
sure.
skated it. I know it.
Yeah, you skated it? We had it in Sherbrooke back in the days.
Yep. That's, I think, when I did it.
Yeah. It's so good.
Sick. The most illegal trick.
Well, everyone kind of said it, like the 3 shove.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, more than 3 shove is illegal, but for me, like, please stop after 1 shove. Like, I've seen so many 3 shove that does not look good. And I mean, you do whatever you want. That's the beauty of snow skating. Like, there's no rules. But I don't like seeing 3 shove because most of them, pretty much all of them, are just thrown away, no pop. If you do like an impossible, like wrap your foot around, that's cool. I like it. And if you really pop your 3 shove and catch it, I think that's good. But I think the only one I've seen doing a good 3 shove is Charlo. He did a 3 shove tail press in one of his part. He had like red hair. I don't know if you guys can recall that.
That was in Safari time, yeah.
Oh, okay, so that one I remember I like, and 3 shove is the illegal trick for me. But everyone said it, so I thought of others to say. I'm not a big fan of shove it tail grab. I know that some people like it. Charlo does it. Zidane do it, but personally, I really don't like this trick.
I'm feeling kind of attacked right now, Phil.
Oh, Eric,
I'm kidding.
No, I agree, Phil.
Yeah.
That was a trick I used to do when I was younger because other people did it, and then as I got older, I'm like, that's kind of a cheap trick. That's kind of why I stopped doing the finger flip too, and I'm like, I'm done with it.
Oh, finger flip! I don't think that's as illegal. I just wouldn't do it in my part. I kind of like when Rico was doing it.
Yeah.
And
right. That was another snow skate trick.
Like,
so.
And the 3 shove thing, like, I want to say I'm guilty too. Like, I've done many 3 shove in my older videos. I just feel that it's an easy trick when you start snow skating. And like, people want to have as many tricks as possible in their edits, and that's understandable. But you don't need to throw a 3 shove in your Instagram edit. Like, it'll be better if you don't. I'm not trying to be rude. Like, do whatever.
Yeah.
You want.
What about the 540 big spin, Phil? Some people might recall that you ended your part with one back in 07.
Yeah, I don't think that's an illegal trick for me because I like this trick way better than the 3 shove.
I agree.
But yeah, I wouldn't do it today. You know, back in the day, it was just the most shove, like the most rotation possible. Today, it's more like quality, not quantity. You know. And another trick that I don't like seeing too, because with the Ambition Army, I go through everything and see a lot of things. And when people do like 45 degrees board slide and don't like do it all the way and go out like before the end of the rail, that's a no for me. Like, if you do a board slide, try to go until the end and like commit on it. Go on it like 90 degree until the end of the rail. If you go on the side, like, to me, that's not a make. But whatever, if it provides you with like happiness doing this, just go ahead and do it. But that's my illegal trick. Half
Now,
board slide, not the full thing.
Open question for you guys. How do you guys feel about like hurricane board slides or like barley grind type board slides?
I would just call them board slides.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same with what Phil said. I hate when people board slide and they're not like across the rail. They're like in like a feeble looking thing, or they're not on the rail enough, or they don't, like literally exactly what Phil said. I hate when people don't complete the rail. It kills me.
Yeah. I wouldn't try to film one, but they are really fun to do. Like those like hurricane style board slides where you try to get it as close to switch 50 as possible and then like switch it back. Like wouldn't try to like get one somewhere, but they're really fun to do.
I wouldn't. Yeah. I don't mind seeing
if
them.
You're gonna
like,
go into switch 50 now.
They're like the hurricane.
So
like if someone does it, like you did commit on that board slide. You know, it's not like you just hop on a half board slide. Like I think Dave did some in his parts back in the days, and they were really sick.
Let's play. He did one.
Yeah, I just don't know if I would call them hurricanes. Actually,
yeah, it's definitely not the same. Just hurricane style board slide or whatever.
But
I don't know.
That trick is still sick. But like if you do it and it looks good, then I'm cool with it. What do you guys think?
Yeah,
I just think they're fun.
Like, it's not the same when you're not on a skateboard. You know, you can't really lock into a hurricane like you know. Yeah, basically what you said.
Yeah, I think it's a kind of interesting like change of pace style thing, but I don't know if you should like. I'd probably rather just see a normal board slide than see the hurricane tweak board slide type of thing.
Fair enough.
They're really fun to do.
Yeah, or just switch 50. Like even just bring it around a little more. Just one. That'd be way cooler.
Cool. That'd be sick.
Definitely. Adds a lot of risk too. It's part of the fun. Hardest trick for you personally, Phil?
Hard flips or thread flips? Both of them. Okay. I can't. I mean, I used to do a few tree flips. I've done it. I've done maybe a handful of times in my life, not more than that. But hard flips, I don't think I've ever landed one.
That's a hard trick.
Too hard.
No pun intended. Very hard, though.
Yeah, it is hard.
Very difficult.
No pun intended. Yeah, that's the correct name for that trick, hard flip.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Gilbert Crockett, we were talking about earlier, he has a great hard flip. One of the best.
Man. Jeremy Manson has good ones too.
Mm-hmm. Man, I gotta go watch Brian Herman part after.
Yeah, I feel like T. Dan has a nice hard flip too.
Yeah, he does. Mm-hmm. True.
Man, you don't see enough of those anymore. I'm trying to think right now too. Also, Phil, I guess I've never seen you do one.
No, I don't. I can't.
That trick is hard.
I've done it nollie on a skateboard, but I've never done a proper hard flip on a skateboard.
Me either.
Dang.
It's just so scary, like having it like come up directly in between your legs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I guess I'm only trying them off kickers because I primarily skate kickers when I'm like trying to like learn stuff or whatever. But it's difficult, man. It's really
just
it's just
the
scary.
front foot goes in the way. Like I try to. Yeah. Whenever I haven't tried it in a long time, but I remember trying it and it would just do like a 90-degree kickflip. Like it would not go the full rotation. My front foot would just be in the way all the time.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I did the same thing. Like I landed a few like that, but they were just so bad that I'm like, I don't know how to do these proper, and I'm not going to try to take them anywhere because I can't do them. You know,
that's kind of why I stopped doing them. I mean, I used to have a few in my old parts, and I thought I was okay at them. Then I was like, I don't know if I'm doing these right. I should probably stop. And now I can only kickflip and shove. So that's pretty much what happens when you stop doing shit.
Ambition Army challenge, Phil.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Let's see some more of those.
It's like it's like kind of a basic trick, but it's still really difficult.
It's still difficult. Like I don't want to put this too hard, so like most of the people can get in. But sure, dude, hard flip is a good one. Let's start with that
that'd be sick. That'd be sick. Let's take a quick Zoom break. All right, we're back from the Zoom/beer break. Phil, the one trick that got away for you.
is a trick that was kind of landed, but did not get used in a video. A trick that would get away. Like, does that count?
Yeah,
Because I have one
think
that
so.
I think it was in Angkor. During these days, I was trying a rail. I was trying to board slide a rail in Sherbrooke. I think Josh back 50'd it.
Yep.
So I was trying this. I posted it on Instagram this season, I think, a few months ago. So I was board sliding this. It took forever to go all the way to the end. It was a really like long one. And I landed on one, but kind of like put my hand behind me, did a little power slide, like stopped on a little snow bump, and like I guess I kept going, but that didn't make the cut. And that's the one trick that I worked hard with, like ended up not being used because it was not clean enough. That would be it. So it's probably in my is there like a Encore rough cuts on YouTube? I don't even know.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
It's in there.
I don't know.
Yeah. With that rail, Phil, was the last support beam broken or taken out? Like, why was it at the end of that rail? It was just like free flowing, or it was just like hanging
the
there,
last
you know
part
what I mean?
was hanging, so it was kind of like a little bounce at the end, and I don't know why it was like this, and it's been like this forever.
Yeah. Did it always look like that, do you think? Or could you tell that like a support was missing off the end? Or do you know like
There was snow, but
was there any
snow,
obvious
so I could
defects?
not tell.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Just curious.
Yeah, it looks old, so it might have been broken like back in the day.
Yeah.
And you can't tell. There's no like base for a missing pole or anything that I can recall.
Yeah. Yeah, between that, like at the end of the rail and just like all that snow and shit at the end of it, like Josh had a really tough time rolling away from it or riding away from it. You ran into the same thing, it seemed like. It just I mean, other than just being like a long, gnarly rail, it just looked really difficult to skate.
It was not that high to get on, but a little like higher than you think it would. You know, when you see a clip, it always looks easy, and then when you go to the spot, it's just always harder than you expect. So that one was not that high, but a little higher than I expected, and I'm not really used to do long rail, so I just tried it, and it was, I don't know, it took forever, and it was just too hard. It was not like that hard to get on, just too hard to balance.
For sure.
You keep going. I would like fall on one side or the other anytime.
Sure. And at least for somebody who's like never been there or skated it, like it doesn't look that easy to get on, like in your defense and in Josh's defense, like it doesn't look easy to skate.
Yeah, there was one thing that helped is the rail is in a driveway that goes down, and there's the sidewalk next to it, and the sidewalk is a little bit slanted, so it's a little kicker, like really not big, but a little bit slanted, so it helped a little bit to get on. It's, I'd say, like mid thighs as a height. Not too high, but still a little bit.
No,
it's not
technically
that high.
landed it, Phil.
I kind of did, and Alex
did technically board slide the rail, just wasn't up to
Alex was
film
telling
standards.
us, like, you guys are dumb. Like, you just did not shovel the landing enough. Like, you would have landed way easier if you just have shoveled the landing.
Yeah,
and I don't know if
that's what
that's
it looks
true,
like.
but yeah, maybe.
Oh man, the best trick you've done that was not caught on film.
The only one that I could think of was Zach, you might have been there. It was in Sherbrooke team trips from way long time ago, and we were at this park where in Sherbrooke where there was that event in the springtime, the carnival park. I don't know if you can recall that.
Yeah.
And
I know what you're gonna say. Yeah.
Yeah, you might. I don't know if you know, but we were skating like there was a snow pile.
Yeah,
I remember. Kind of like a quarter pipe, and we put a car tire or a car wheel, like not just the tire, but like the inside wheel was in it. On top of that, I don't like. I'm surprised you remember that.
I do remember. Because I
And-
remember
was
I
in,
was the one filming it.
Oh, you did
Was
with the VX?
I was trying to film you do it after you landed it already.
Yeah,
this
so
was in Levo Lu, right?
it could have been.
There might be some tricks in there, probably. Yeah, from that
so
day.
the trick I did it later. Like I did for fun. It was, I don't know if it was first try, but like in the beginning of it, so there was that kind of like bank or quarter pipe and that tire on top. So I did like a nose pick indie and like put it back to regular and the bank, kind of like you see on a skateboard, like you see that often. So I did it like pretty good. Maybe first try, I can't remember. And then I guess Dave was filming with his VX back in the days, and he was like, "Oh, I want to film this," or maybe Zach, you said it. I can't remember.
Oh, I thought I was filming with an HD camera. You know, I could be fucking so far off.
Well,
I know I
maybe
was
there
there. I
are two
remember
angles,
it.
but I remember seeing like trying it again, and I could not do it really good after that. I have like a shitty one. I think it was filmed with a VX. It might have been in the Violu video. I can't remember. So
Yeah,
that's a trick
pretty sure it
that
was.
was not filmed. It was filmed after, but not really not good enough. That's the
Gotcha.
only one I could think of.
Okay.
That's a
The
cool
trick-
trick.
Yeah, it was a cool trick.
That's sweet.
At least the version that I saw in Levo Lu, which I'm definitely butchering because I don't know French, but
That's good.
The trick that you worked hardest to get.
That would be the backside flip in Let's Play down at the 3 block.
Okay.
That's-
Yep.
It took me three times to go there and land it. And pretty much every trick in every part too. Like it takes me so much time. Like sometimes and most of the time I have to go back twice for like a trick, and that time I had to go back 3 times and got it.
Mm.
So that
Do you
backside
think?
flip might be the one.
Do you think that you've kind of got a better grasp on backside flips now? Do you think maybe it was because at that time maybe you were still kind of learning them and doing them? Because I feel like you kind of have that trick.
Yeah, for sure. That was in 2012, 13. That was a
Yep,
long time
12,
ago.
13.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm pretty sure it would go like faster these days.
Right. That's how I feel too.
Yeah, I mean the one that in Sava was probably the year after or 2 years after, and it took me 2 sessions to go there instead of 3. So that's an improvement.
True.
And I did one not in as big of a drop, but I did one a couple seasons ago, filmed on Instagram for fun, and it was first try on a drop in Sherbrooke. So yeah, I guess back in the days it was just a harder trick for me.
It's a hard trick in general.
It is. It really
But yeah,
is.
every trick I always think it'll be easy and go there and like try it for hours. Most of the time it doesn't work.
That's
Same.
snow skating.
Yeah, every trick is the hardest trick I worked for. not everyone, but like most of them.
I feel it. Your favorite snow skate community event?
All right, Midwest for sure, but everyone
Yep.
said it in the previous podcast, so I'm gonna go with another one, just to have something else to talk about. But shout out to Phil Smudgy for the Midwest events. It's just it's been the best time ever. I've been there twice, 2 years in a row, and really hope to be able to make there in the future. It's been the best. My favorite, like other than that, it would be the Barbgazi event that was at Saint Agathe, which is a little north of Montreal. I don't think you guys have been there.
No, I didn't get to go to that one.
Yeah, so you remember the Barbgazi in Montreal?
Right.
Mhm.
So after that, they were making 2 stops, like one in Montreal and one in a smaller city up north. And that one there, we were crashing at like one guy bought an old ski hill that closed down. So he bought the whole land and the shack and everything. He built his house in the place, and he has a private snow park where people pay to go there and practice, and he has a tow rope, and they're just like every size of rails and like 2 jumps to practice. So
And
we
that's
could
is that Maximize?
yeah,
or
it's called
whatever?
Maximize.
Yeah.
So favorite event, is that because after the little snow skate event, like demo with the city, we would just go there and snow skate the park at night, and it was super expensive to whenever this guy rents it to like snowboarders that want to practice there. So he made us a deal for like us to just go there at night. He started the tow rope, and we could just go up the thing, slide, like ride the jumps and rails, and go up in seconds and just having fun. It was
That
so
sounds
fun.
awesome.
It was just these nights where I don't know, everyone was there. The vibe was good. We were boosting up the snowboard jumps, like flying in the air, eating shit.
And is that the same time that you guys filmed the Maximise? I'm probably not saying that right, but that
Maximize, I
edit
guess.
that was on YouTube.
Yeah, we've been there
Okay.
2 years. I think it was 2 years in a row.
Okay.
And yeah, it was that part. Maximize. Super fun times there.
Yeah, I just watched that edit like a week or two ago. It looks like so much fun.
I forgot
You
about
just
that.
like indie grabbing off that giant kicker, like, oh, it looks so sick.
Yeah, it was so fun. It kind of felt like the mega ramp, like going down that
Yeah.
super steep hill forever and then like hitting that snowboard jump.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a snow skate version of the mega ramp. Or
Pretty
I guess
much,
the mega
yeah.
ramp is like a summer version of the snowboard jump, so that all goes back.
Most underrated snow skater.
I'm gonna have to go with Riley Rahala. I don't know if I'm saying his name right,
Yep.
but every time this guy posts something, I don't think he posted that many clips this season, but I don't know, it's just so good. He
Yes.
seems like a really good skater, and I'm really hyped whenever he posts something on Instagram. I would love to see more footy. I don't know if he has a part out there or anything, but I would love to see more from this guy.
Yeah, I don't think he has a part out. I skate with him a lot whenever I go up to Duluth. But yeah, that dude holds it down.
Also, I think there's a crew in Alaska. I don't know their name, but I've seen videos of like a crew of skater or snow skaters from Alaska that were just straight killing it, like kick flipping down huge stair set, like doing handrails and everything, and it looked just for fun. Well, I don't know like anything about it. I don't know their names. I just remember a crew from Alaska last season. I think were putting videos out there, like super underrated, like super good tricks. Do you guys
I
know
know.
what
Yeah, one of
who
their
these guys
names
are?
is Gary. I can't think of the other. There's like a little crew. You're right. One of the dudes, he literally had an old Isaac Hebert
Yeah.
premiere in it, and he was like kickflipping over a handrail, like doing really fucking
Like,
gnarly
so
stuff on it.
good.
I was like, dude, someone get this guy a real board. I was actually pulling for him. I voted for him for the flow contest to get on the flow team, but I don't know what happened there. But he was
well.
really sick. I haven't seen anything from him this year, but that dude
And
was
I don't know if it's like
ripping.
one dude or like 5 dudes, but
I think it's a
It
few
all-
of them, and I think
it
they're
all
kind of
looks so sick.
associated with like the Gripall kind of thing, or at least they're friends with maybe Josh of Gripall if he still
Yeah.
works for Gripall. I don't know if I'm wrong there, but anyways, yeah, I think that crew is awesome. I haven't seen much from him this year though.
yeah.
Do you skateboard or snowboard as well, Phil?
I do. Yeah. I don't snowboard as much as I used to. I grew up snowboarding at first. Like every day in the weekend, every night of the week that the ski place was open, and then discovered skateboarding a few years later. Skated all summer, and now I skate like when I can. I can't skate every week in the summer like I used to, but whenever I can, I try to go skate. And snowboarding, I don't do it as much as I would, because obviously whenever I have free time now, I try to snow skate and go get a clip or something.
Sure.
But I still do it a few times a year, I'd say.
Sure. Okay.
But yeah, if I would like have like an infinite amount of free time, I would just snowboard and skateboard all the time too.
Snowboarding is just fun, man. It really
I
is a
know.
blast to go
It's-
snowboarding.
Like we were saying earlier, it's punk rock. Like, it's easy to get that feeling just going fast down the glaze, or like hitting any trees or rock or side jumps, side kicker, whatever you can find. It's just that feeling you get, it's awesome.
It is a really fun activity. Biggest bunt. We may have addressed this earlier in the podcast. Maybe a little preemptive, but
No,
do
I
you
have
another bunt example?
I have a better one, I think.
Okay.
But I'm not sure. Like, you guys probably have explained it to every guest on the podcast what a bunt is. I'll tell mine. I'm not sure if it really qualifies as a bunt, but I think it's the biggest bunt you guys will ever have this season on this podcast. It actually it's
Bigger
me.
than mine?
Like, I'm the guy. I'm the guy. This
Let's hear it.
This was I don't know if it's a bunt, but I'll just explain it. During the trip we did with Red Bull, like they wanted to do a photo shoot in Quebec City.
Yeah,
I was with Alan and Jensen and Zidane. So Alan had found this spot. It's like a huge wall with like a platform on top of it, and he built a quarter pipe down
the Quebec City spot.
Yeah, at the bottom of it, so we could just like be at the top part, ollie into the wall, like wall right down, land on this quarter pipe. But it was a huge drop, like a very like high drop, like high impact thing. So Alan and I were skating it, and like, dude, I was terrified. It was a freaking like high drop landing on a icy quarter pipe, like super hard pack. So we were both like trying it and getting close to it, but I remember like getting so hurt. Like, one time I was just slide back on my ass and like feeling all the impacts and the tinglings and like the electric shocks in my back. So
I want to interject here because I talked to Alan about this a couple weeks ago, and he was mentioning how awful the conditions were that day.
Oh,
like,
it was
the day, but also like that
icy.
entire that whole Red Bull trip. Like apparently, like it had rained, and you guys are basically like trying to just shovel ice together just to get anything you could for that edit. Like the worst case scenario. Yeah,
it was pouring rain like probably the day before, so that we were like landing on ice. I remember like falling on ice and like feeling all the the impact on my ass, man, on my back. It was so bad. So the next try I tried to like put my weight a little like in front of me so I don't slip back, but I did the opposite and fell in front of me, like on my wrist and shoulder, like probably I don't know, like at least like a 12-foot drop to a icy quarter pipe in the end. Like it was horrible. And so Alan and I were like both trying it, and I remember like we were like, as soon as one lands it, like we'll just be happy to stop trying this. But it was like a really sick photo. And of course Alan, like we were both like trying it, and Alan did it first. So I was like so relieved, like I would not have to like kill myself again on that spot. But there was a photo of me like ollie into that wall, and it got used in I don't know where. Probably
was it
in
that
the
Red Bull article?
Maybe it was, and I think Alex put it on the website or something. But that would be the biggest bunt because that's me like ollieing into that huge wall, like a sickest spot. Like the photo is actually pretty sick, but I didn't even land that trick, and it's out there. That photo is being used for promotion, I guess. Like I don't know why. Like Alex knew I didn't land it. Like, oh man. So
someone landed it.
Whenever I see this photo, but whatever, it's a cool photo.
That's pretty bunt-like, yeah.
Yeah, I'll defer to you, Zach, if that actually qualifies. But
I like it. It's a good story.
It's a thumbs up for me. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
So, do you guys remember where this photo was posted?
I wish. I know exactly the spot you're talking about. I don't remember the photo, though.
I was also looking at the Red Bull article. I think this was when I was doing the Matt Plays podcast. I was looking for just like various graphics and snowskate photos and stuff, and I stumbled across that Red Bull article, and that's when I was looking through that, which is why I was talking to Alan about it. So I'll have to go back and look at that Red Bull article and see if that photo, your photo was included as well as Alan's. Like, I saw Alan's clip in the edit that got put out, but I don't remember which photos were used.
Yeah, I instantly stopped trying as soon as Alan landed it. I was relieved. I think Alan like hurt his knee during that, and I don't know if it was the first time that he hurt it, but he hurt his knee pretty bad,
Mhm.
but like it was all right to keep going. And I was terrified. I didn't want to get hurt too.
Yeah. I may be speaking for Alan, but I think that was the start of his ACL injury that he had
I also
the next
think
year
that
or
was
something.
too.
Yeah. I don't
it might
remember
have been.
exactly. And again, I'm speaking for Alan. I probably shouldn't be, but I think that was like either the start of it or like what actually caused it.
Well, he deserved the photo, not me.
Oh, man. All right. Best style in snow skating.
Josh Oakes.
Yep. Can't go wrong.
Yeah, hard to think of anyone else. I mean, to me, it's just the perfect like style. Everything's flawless. Josh Oakes, for sure.
Can't argue with it. Worst style in snow skating.
Oh man, I thought of someone.
Out, Phil.
I have
I've
someone
never seen
in
Phil
mind,
be mean,
but
so here
like,
we go.
I was really like hesitating, like should I say it or not? Because I saw a lot of guys saying like didn't want to call anyone out, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna like do it. But then I thought about it and like, oh, what if I was this guy like being called out in the podcast? And I don't think I would feel great. But I have this guy in mind, and I'm just gonna say like what I don't really enjoy about this style. I don't want to say his name. I don't want to be that rude, because if it was me, I would not enjoy being, called out. But
that's fair.
That guy, I don't know him personally. I just see his clips on Instagram, and every time he posts something, I don't know if it's just because it's the throwaway footy or anything, but there's always something. Either like it's a rocket flip, or there's a foot drag, or a hand touching the ground, or he doesn't have a right away. And there's always something. Alex and I were talking about this earlier. We're like, oh, this guy is pretty good. Like he's doing like really sick trick, but pretty much every one of his clips that he posts on Instagram, there's like, almost sick, but there's that, and obviously like
I want to guess this after, because I think I have a couple prospects.
I don't want to call him out. Like it would be too mean, because I don't know the guy. I'm sure he's a pretty cool guy, and maybe it's just because, like I said, he keeps his good clips for other parts or projects or anything. But oh man, every time I watch his clips, I'm like, man, almost.
No, skating's hard. I have to redo tricks like 5 to 10 times sometimes just to get one that doesn't do that. Honestly, I get it.
And that thing too, like I also redo my tricks 4 or 5 times before I get the good one. Same. And that's like obsession. If you don't film for like a video part that you want to be like super proud and put out there, like it's kind of stupid to just redo the tricks that you just did. Like this guy is just having fun, and if you're just having fun, that's all good. Like I can't hate on him and call him out. Like that's just us being really too picky on it. But
yeah, well, we're trying to put the
there's a
in
reason
a certain
behind
kind of light. Yeah, so
sure.
Unfortunately, we have to do our tricks till they're perfect, almost.
Yeah, that makes sense, but.
Yeah, that's a good attitude, Phil, though. I respect that. Like, we definitely have our qualms with that sort of thing, and we'll talk about it after we're done.
I was really going for it at first. I was like, oh, I'm gonna find someone and like not take the easy way out like every other guy. But man, here I am, biggest bunt all the time.
Oh, I love it, Phil. I love it. All right, worst bail snow skating.
That would be my back injury that started with snow skating. I think I must have talked about it in the previous podcast, but to just make a long story short, after a long team trip to Regina back 10 years ago, maybe, I started like feeling a little something in my back from sitting too much, and like right after a long drive, just going and hit a stair set like many times in a row. Like a month after that, I just woke up and like had really sharp pain in my back. and it's been a trouble since then, like having back pain every day. And sometimes my back would just like completely like be so much painful that I can't move for like a full week. And I've had some scans, and it's just one of the discs that is, I think it's called a disc bulge, like compressed. So
Okay.
this is on the nerves. I think Dave had a herniated disc in his back too. It's pretty much, it's kind of the same thing, but I guess it's not as intense. But my scan was like 10 years ago, so I might have like a herniated disc today, and I don't know about it.
Mm.
I didn't know you were still dealing with that, Phil. I mean, that was so long
every
ago.
day,
I remember
like when I'm sleeping, it's hard to find a good position to sleep. No, it's not that crazy, and I have like good days and bad days, and sometimes good months and bad months. But I feel it every day since then.
Jeez, didn't you hurt it really bad on that press pad? Am I making that up? I thought something happened on that one wooden press pad we used to put a kicker up to in Sherbrooke.
Oh no, I just had a really bad fall, but that didn't really hurt. It was a time where I was dealing with back pain, and I was just like getting back to it, and I felt like I was trying nose press something, and my foot got stuck, and I fell on my back, like straight on my back down that thing. But I don't think it was that painful. So
Okay.
that's the worst. Like I've had a bunch of other stuff, but that's the most, like the worst injuries that I still deal with every day. And it was not like a snow skate bail. It was more like a years of skateboarding and snowboarding and snow skating. But it happened when I first like had the first back pain that I was snow skating. And I remember one time at the 3 block, we were skating there with the boys in Sherbrooke. That was like after like my first back pain. I was kind of getting back into it. And I did a kickflip down the 3 block for fun. And I remember like the time that I landed on it, I landed on the board, but my back just like stopped, like gave out right when I landed. So I like banded, stayed down, fell on my back, and just stayed there. Like, dang, I'm done. Like struggled to walk back to my car, and then just stayed on my back for a few days. I landed a trick, but that hurt. It's so bad. That hurt my back forever.
Damn, that's gnarly.
I just didn't know you were still dealing with that. I hope it's at least somewhat more like manageable or like tolerable while you're skating at this point. But
yeah, it's we've had I realized that whenever I work sitting on a chair, it's worse. And I've been working on my house all summer long, and it's been better when I'm not sitting all the time.
Yeah.
So it depends on the day. Are we due for a quick Zoom break there?
Yes, we are. Thank you, Phil. All right, we're back. We have one bail that was missed by Phil Moreau. Phil, talk us through it.
It's not the worst bail. I mean, pretty much one of the worst that I've had, because it never happened to me before. But the other day I was skating that stair set at church nearby, and I dropped down on my board. Like I was trying a heel flip down a 7 stairs, and for some reason when I jumped on my board, the board stuck on the ground, and I was like ejected, thrown forwards, and fell down the stairs on my elbow and my back, and just rolling down the stairs. And it never happened to me before snow skating. Like it was kind of on a skateboard when you hit rocks and your board just stops and you fall in front of you. That just happened on a snow skate. I don't know why. Maybe there was not enough snow on the run up or something. I got tossed down these stairs. And
you still don't know why the snow skate stopped like that? I thought it was like something.
I mean, I didn't check the run up. There wasn't anything that I saw, but I probably hit the ground, the bottom, and I hit my elbow on, like, probably knocking on the stairs, and it got swollen so bad all the way up almost to my wrist, like maybe a foot, an inch away from my wrist. I had like a huge potato on my elbow for a week. And then the swelling just disappeared, and it went all right after a week. But I thought I had broke my elbow or something.
Gnarly. Ugh. I don't envy that, Phil.
Just make sure you have enough snow on your run-ups.
I was telling Phil when he told me that story how that year when the Ambition boards were defects, or like, the company we got kind of essentially screwed over by the plastic production company. But anyways, the A's were falling out. The A would fall out. And I got to Marquette. I was so excited. It was one of my first Snowskate sessions. I'm at Jeremy's house, and I'm like, I'm just going to throw down in the driveway real quick. And I'm running so fast to throw down, and I didn't know that the A fell out. So I go to jump on it, and it didn't even move at all. There was just wood. So I just fucking slammed so hard. Very similar to your fault. Just like ejected so far. Anyway, sorry. Didn't mean to steal the spotlight here. Keep going.
The lost year.
Yeah, 15, 16, stapled base. All right.
Yeah, we don't talk about 15, 16.
Let's put that behind us. Move forward.
It wasn't Ambition's fault.
All right. Worst trend in snow skating, Phil?
It's for me, it's the trap music gangsta edit. Like, I guess it's a skate trend that people do. Yeah. And they still do it on snow skating. Just like these random kids putting the worst trap music over their edits, like wannabe gangsters or anything. Like, you're not gangsters. You're just that random, like 12-year-old kids, like playing around with his friends. Like, I just hate when I see that. I don't know why. I don't like this music personally, so that's why. To me, that's the worst trend. Just put some other music than that. Like, you're not a gangster. I don't know. I hope I'm not too rude with these guys with this, but that's the worst trend for me.
That's fair. That's fair. The worst part about snow skating?
Like everyone said, the salt and warm and sticky snow. Like the fact that you would try a trick and it would kind of work, but the more you try it, the worse the run-up gets, and the salt mixed with the snow and your board gets all soaked and heavy, and it just becomes so hard after a bit. That's the worst part. And another worst part would be trying a trick forever, like being so exhausted and cold, and the filmers like really tired and like cold. And sometimes we just joke about it with Alex that like we've been trying this trick forever, and we're just like, we can't wait to stop snow skating and just go inside and be warm. Like sometimes we're so happy to go snow skate, but then just can't wait to be done with it. So that's the worst part, when you just like, it has to stay fun. Like if it's not fun anymore, like there's no point in doing it,
For sure.
Yeah.
The last person that you want in the session?
I try to think of someone, and I don't think there's anyone that I would not want at the session. Like, I'm happy to have buddies to snow skate with, and the only thing is when you snow skate with someone that is not really used to snow skating, like let's say your skate buddy comes with you and they don't know that they're messing up their run-ups. Mm-hmm. I think Matt Blaze or someone else talked about this in this podcast too, but like sometimes like your buddy that is not used to snow skating, he would just slide around on the run-up and not go as straight as you would do. And they just take the snow off or like make it a little worse. And they don't know that whenever like someone usually messes the run up, like you have to, not that you have to, but like, it's nice to fix it for the next person.
Right.
That's one thing. But I don't think of anyone that I would not want at a session.
Sure.
I feel
Fair
like
enough.
when you have those newcomers that you bring along, you almost don't. I mean, sometimes you can just straight up tell them, but sometimes they'll kind of observe you, and they'll like kind of pick up on what you're doing or what you and your friends are doing. And I notice they'll start to fix their run up and landings too. So it's all a learning curve, and they all figure it out.
Yeah, like they don't know. Like
But-
they just do this for fun. And
I want to ask you, Phil. I don't know if you had listened to ours and who I said for my last person I want on the sesh.
I
you
listened to
remember
it.
that?
I can remember.
It was that kid that we had on that team trip 3 years ago. That Julian kid.
Oh yeah, I
Gagnon.
remember it now.
Julian Gagnon.
Julien Gagnon.
Do you remember it? Well, first of all, do you remember it? But second of all, do you know if he still snow skates at all? I mean, he fucking ripped. He was really
I
good.
haven't heard
but
of
has anyone
him.
seen him around? Just want a little
No, I
update,
haven't
see.
heard anything about him in a while.
Okay.
I know that he took a road trip like maybe a year ago with his band, like just went all the way through US with his girlfriend. I haven't seen him snow skating
Okay.
again. No,
Just
he's
curious.
in Montreal, so I don't see him. Well, I
Yeah.
know who he is for sure.
Yeah.
He's a lot
Wonder
of
if
he's a lot of energy.
Yeah, that's
I don't think I've ever snow skated with him. I'm not sure I was there when he was in Sherbrooke.
all good. Just curious if he's still snow skater, if you guys had seen him around lately.
No, I don't think he does. Maybe he does at his place, like solo or low key,
Yeah.
but I haven't seen him.
Gotcha.
Well, Phil, we're out of questions.
Oh dang!
Yeah,
We
we have
threw
wrapped
them
up the
off.
podcast
Already?
after four and a
We
half
made it.
hours of recording. Yeah.
Yes, we made it, boys.
Any other shout outs or anything you'd like to address before we wrap up the podcast?
Yeah, shout out to Alex Blais for standing out in the cold, filming me all the time, not having fun when it's taking too much time to film my tricks. Shout out to you guys for sure. Everyone that's snow skating is having fun. That's it.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Eric,
guess
will you
we'll let it
end this podcast with instead of saying go snow skate, just be like fuck salt, and then we can end it.
Can I
Yeah,
do
yeah, we
that,
can do that.
the last thing? Like, if you made it this far,
Yeah, you wrap it up, Phil. Yeah, you can do
Alright.
the ender this time.
Yeah,
Alright.
go ahead, Phil. Sorry. Do it. We let the
Oh.
guests do it from now on.
Oh, I like that idea.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Are we ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, that's the end for this episode. If you made it this, I gotta do it again. It's too hard. You guys are ready? Take two. All right. All right. If you made it this far, thanks for listening. That's pretty much it for this episode, and go snow skate. Thank you, guys. Oh, you can follow us on the Snowskate Source on Instagram. Is that it? Am I blowing it?